Alright, should be any second now. Alright, I think we're live now.
Oh, we're live? Cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Alright, awesome.
Trying to find my my chat.
Let me pull your channel up right here.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, awesome.
Alright.
Yeah, there we go. Everything seems fine.
Spacezilla.
Spacezilla.
Spacezilla, that's actually my buddy.
Oh, Spacezilla. Oh, no way. Awesome, man.
Yeah, that's my buddy. What's it called? You know the one that had the recent dilemma and catastrophe. Prayers for you, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you told me about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, just letting some people get in here, but hey guys, what's up? I'm here with TheBossRanker, and today we're just gonna go over some DLC speculation and predictions. We just got a lot of information recently. It's been slowly accumulating over time, and thought it'd be a good chance to just go over it here and have some fun in between video production. So,
Absolutely.
I'll have some visuals going on in the background, guys, but for the most part, this is going to be like a down-to-earth, more of just chat. Yeah. So
I like it. I like it. It's such a good main menu, man. I love it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I have
awesome.
I have a mod that allows me to do crazy things. Absolute Doc, what's up, dude? He's a goat. We love Absolute Doc.
Yeah, we got Toxic in here as well. Absolutely, dude. Yeah, we got everybody in here. We got Vega as well, man.
Yo.
I always see Vega in your comments.
Vega's a good, yeah.
Out.
He's just a very smart dude.
He's been around for a while, yeah.
My buddy from the chat just texted me. Also,
Awesome.
How's the audio, guys? Let me know how I sound, how BossRanker sounds, and how the music sounds and whatnot, and we can get the ball rolling here. I got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We'll go by category, and we'll sort of go off each other and give our opinions on each thing and what we hope to see from it, plus our own specific expectations or even hopes at all. Regarding new weapons or environments or story beats, whatnot.
I'm a teeny bit quiet, apparently. Okay.
You can be quiet? Alright,
Yeah, apparently.
You're loud for me, so I tuned you down a bit. Alright, let's try that.
Am I too loud that way?
No,
it could be a gain issue. Alright, that should be a little bit better here. Yeah, a trailer soon would be awesome, man. They're really procrastinating on this trailer, bro. Like, they just don't want to give us a trailer for this DLC, you know?
No, they don't want to.
Nah, it's never gonna happen. But how does that sound now, guys? Does that sound a little bit better? It should do.
Yeah, let me do one thing. Let me plug my phone up here. I hope it doesn't interfere with the with the audio.
Yeah, okay. Good, okay, cool. Apparently we're golden, so that's definitely something. Yeah, Robert Pye said he thinks they're waiting for a QuakeCon to give us a trailer. I agree, honestly.
I don't know.
You know, it makes sense to me, man. It makes sense to me. It makes sense because it's a good reveal. It'll get everyone hyped. It'll get everyone, like, yeeted up for some like, big reveal announcement. And it's like we haven't heard anything for a year. I mean, we've heard like little bits and teasers, but like no big official like release date or no big official tease, I guess, outside of like live streams. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like we'll have to see.
I'm gonna hop off the chat for a bit. So if you just want to,
I got the chat open here, so I can tell you everything that's going on. Yeah, for sure, dude.
You know, it's funny because the first thing I have to talk about, other than just the whole rundown of the DLC stuff is talk about the release date. So yeah, we can go over release stuff. So
Yeah.
So it's funny. The Discord chat was just talking about this the other day. There seems to be like a sort of the more modern gaming or just media in general sort of expectation is that. So let's take it back real quick. You know how games back in the day would have like 2 years of build up, sometimes more. 2 years of promo
sure.
and reveals and slowly unraveling everything piece by piece. It seems like the deal now, like it's like a recent phenomenon kind of in the past few years, maybe since COVID, who knows, but that games have a very, very quick, like 6-month window, give or take. Everything's within a year of from reveal to release, and I personally, some people prefer it, but I personally don't like that. I think marketing is important. I think the hype train for Doom Eternal was one of the best things ever, and it's like a standard for how I guess media should be in content like that, big content like movies and games and stuff should be revealed. Like we had the Doom Eternal reveal trailer, and then several months later we had a couple months later we had the gameplay trailer, and then that's all we had for a while. For months we just had those two, and then we had the story trailer, and then we had the story 2. No. We had like the little bits and pieces of reveal, whether it's battle mode or like the Doom Hunter reveal. There are all these different things to kind of cover, and this goes for like all media. There was all sorts of promo, covering different aspects of the game and slowly unraveling it. But now it's like you kind of just have a game announced and then released like 2 months later, especially when it comes to DLC. That's a common trend. So that said, do you think that they're going to do a quick DLC reveal and then release shortly after, or do you think this is something that they are going to reveal in the next few months and then have another 6-month waiting period?
Well, I mean, I think it's been a bit too long now for them to release it and have like an absurd, window. Like,
Yeah.
I think whenever they reveal it, there's gonna be like at most a couple months between like the reveal and the release. Because wait, the Ancient Gods Part 1, was that like, what was the like the gap in between the reveal and the release? Like, what one was that?
Well, the thing
Because I know it tagged. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, because I was gonna say, like, I remember with Tag 2 how, that was revealed, and dude, it came out like the next day. It was crazy, like, but like with Tag 1, like, how long did it take before, like, it was like a week or two, right? Something like that, maybe a month.
Tag 1 was, oh gosh, Summer Games Fest, I think, is whenever it was revealed. Somebody remind me. But man, it was not too far, but it was a few months. But again, that's one of 2 DLCs, as in 2 parts to one experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Tag 2 was rushed out. Like they grinded on that game and rushed out a trailer. Not rushed out a trailer. They had the trailer and then kind of like, what was it, a week or a day later? I think it was a day later that they had the actual release. Because
for sure. Yeah, it was a day. Yeah.
Yeah, they had to fit the 1-year window because of the contract and the sort of bubble that they trapped themselves into, the corner. But again, you could argue that that's because it was a 2-part experience. That it was all spaced out. It was I think there was 3 months between Tag 1 and release. It was 7 months after launch. Next one was 5, but again, that's because they had to cut a couple corners and get a second one out. But yeah, no, like, obviously with DLC, it's not like the full, like, actual piece of media where it's like they can have up to 2 years of promo before it releases. But I don't know. I feel like I feel like it's different for the Dark Ages, because this game didn't have the same sort of post-launch audience as Eternal did. So I feel like if they have, like, yeah, I feel like if they have, like, for example, a QuakeCon reveal this August, early August, and then push it out a few weeks to a month later, I feel like that's going to be underwhelming for like the hype train, like, and I wouldn't be in favor of that. I would love it. Don't get me wrong. As a fan, I'd play it regardless, but I think that it would be smarter to, have a few months of delay. Like I'm talking 2 or 3, you know, at least, which is good for a
I
DLC,
mean,
I'd say.
I mean, it is. I mean, I'm trying to think of like DLCs on this scale where it's I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is like Shadow of the Erdtree for Elden Ring, you know, where that came out I think 2 years after the base game. And they were hyping it up saying it's like half the length of the original game, the base game, which is basically what this DLC is, right? Basically. It's like a it's pretty much half the length, but it's so, substantial in scale and so grand in scale that it may as well be the full content of a main game, you know?
That is important to take
Because
into account.
yeah, because it's by no means like a shallow or linear adventure, you know? It's very grand and it has a lot of, very very important what's the word there? Consequences for the universe. It's going to explain a lot of things, add a bunch of context, that type of stuff, you know?
Yeah, I think. Oh, hold on, let me read this comment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Vega said they're in the very late stages of development, so we're definitely going to hear something soon.
Rubber Pie says, I mean, I feel like there would be a bit of wait time after they show the trailer because Hugo has been giving us so many nuggets. Yeah, that's true. I think there's going to be a waiting period because I just don't think that you can have... again, I see some other commenters talking about this, and something you just mentioned. The scale of the DLC is just too big. I think that it would be... if you're advertising... Not advertising, per se, but if you're hyping something up to be practically a sequel, like not a full-scale sequel, but like in terms of scale of the content given. 2 new weapons, several new missions, probably longer than Tag 1 and 2 combined, slightly. More enemies, whatnot, environments. To hype up something like that and have like a quick release, even if it's like a fan service thing, you guys have been waiting, so here you go. Like, I feel like it'd just be underwhelming and not smart for this game in particular. That's just me personally, but
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah.
I think it's going to be at least revealed by or before QuakeCon. But if that's the case, we will see that live. That'll be awesome. I've always wanted to witness a live reveal or showcase of Doom live at QuakeCon. Those are always the most fun, like, press conferences to watch to me.
I kind of want that to happen, to be honest. I mean, I'd honestly be perfectly fine if, say, it got released at QuakeCon and then it came out, which is in August, by the way, for those who don't know. And then that means it would come out, like, around October time. I'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
That seems pretty appropriate. Just around October, and that means then, that keep me busy until, like, 2027, so...
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
let's see what people are saying here. Yeah, people. We have Toxic saying we should get like we should get a teaser trailer in May or something like that, and then a main trailer at QuakeCon, which I think that'd be a really good idea. I mean, what I've always said about this DLC is I was always confused about why there weren't like even a teaser trailer, because we've had images, we've had like various pieces of kind of almost like linear lore drops in a way. I kind of would have preferred like a little teaser trailer saying like 2026 or something like that, just so people are aware and they're not frustrated. Because you have to keep in mind too that people spent a lot of money on this. People like me who I spent £200 on this game. That's like what, 220
Jesus
bucks.
Christ. I mean, I
so
did
like
too.
Oh yeah, I spent a lot of money on this, so it would have been really cool to be kept in the loop about when the release date is. I'm not exactly looking for okay, this is going to come out this month, this day. But it would have been cool to like have a time window of release, I would have preferred that. Oh, sweet, we got Halo. And we got big, absolutely dark, big boss man. Let's go, bro.
I'm trying to turn off, I think my notifications on the Discord are going through. trying to disable them real quick. Yeah, we got
Sneaky J. Cole.
The GOAT.
Yeah, that's who you were crashing with.
Yo, it's Hato.
Oh yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Hato. Hato's awesome. Lots of cool dudes in chat.
Cool. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh wait, what does Larku say? Also, they probably begun development for the DLC quite a bit before the base game launched. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was pretty apparent from the beginning, right? Like at the end of the Dark Ages campaign, like they already, you know, you have a teaser for where Doom Guy is gonna go next, or the Slayer, you know,
Yeah.
because he gets summoned into the surface of hell. So they definitely tease something there,
Yeah,
you know. And
it
then we've
was
had, yeah,
yeah. I mean, with that, it's like I'm glad this game because like with Eternal was a rather abrupt ending, kind of left it like like the bow was tied pretty good for there not to be a sequel. So I'm glad going into this knowing there's going to be a DLC, which we knew that last time too, but this one did it perfectly to set up for more if you wanted it. There was closure if you did not care for the DLC coming, but like at the same
yeah,
time it actually set up for where the DLC might go. And I think that was important to do because if we're going to wait several months to a year post launch, it's good to at least have some room for like imagination and creativity and speculation. Real quick,
yeah, for sure, it's important, yeah.
real quick, Sneaky J, Cool, Doc, Hato, props to them. A lot of them keep up with all the lore nuggets and speculation and reveals from Hugo Martin and Josh Boyle. So it's great that we have people like that. You can go visit their stuff on Reddit and Twitter and whatnot, and they update it every week with all the new information. Without them, I think there would be a lot of misinformation spread. So I props to them big time.
Yeah, like me and like I still think there's a Netflix series, bro. I'm just gonna say.
All right, all right. Sneaky J Cool Hato, I need you to just dog on this guy, please. He thinks that there's a show coming, and I just
There
want
is, bro. It's prophesized. It's gonna happen.
I want the hate comments to roll in, dude. I don't even care.
He gonna like pop in my comments and like dox me and stuff.
Bully him right now. I
Bully me.
will post a picture of you online at your
I'll
worst.
tell you what.
If you,
I mean,
if,
Icon, there was something I really wanted to talk about. It was like, can you pull up like the released image they did like several
Yeah.
months ago, a year
I actually
ago?
have
Well,
that.
I want to talk about that.
have
Yeah,
it on standby.
yeah, for sure. Just so we can see that level, because I really want to talk about that. The Netflix. This is from Sneaky J Cole. The Netflix thing is funny. I'm surprised it got so big.
No,
Well,
it's the worst possible
it's-
like freaking Twitter page or something like that.
I disagree, bro. I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's like the best. I think it's the best idea ever
You're
conceived.
getting stoned like right now, dude. Like I'm going to do it.
Bruh, I don't know, man.
How do I make this full screen without having the freaking overlay?
Just do it with what's the overlay like?
It's just the freaking default photo app, and I just don't want all that mumbo jumbo.
All right, while you're sorting that out, we got a message from Vega. No, Toxic said Toxic's always on my side, man. He said if I say it's gospel, then it's true. You know, so it's the way it is,
Boomer
man.
Shooter Art. Yeah, Boomer Shooter Art, guys. I'm sorry if you watch Boomer Shooter Art, or the art's cool. The information is just abysmal. Just oh my god. Also, let me know, guys, about the music and stuff. I got some background music. If it's inaudible, I'll turn up a little bit. If it's audible, then that's perfect. That's just where I want it to be. But
I can't seem to hear it too much, honestly. Am I supposed to hear it, or is this for like the audience there?
oh, the audience, I guess. I don't know. Just like
Okay, sweet.
So long as I can hear some of it. It's just supposed to fill
Yeah,
the noise, but I gotta
in the
get this
chat they're
going.
saying they can't hear it.
I can't
so
hear it at all?
You
Oh.
might have to do some adjusting. No.
It's Bow on the Black and Tide, so I'm sorry that you guys can't hear it. Wow.
I mean, we got a nice message from Vega here, and it's like he's basically saying, and we're gonna talk about this when we get the image up, how this DLC is gonna integrate the Wretch and the Soul Factories, and we're just gonna see
Yep.
more. We're actually gonna see things that were implied or even revealed in like lore drops by Samuel Hayden in the base game. We're actually gonna see that, and we're gonna be presented with it
Yeah,
in these
absolutely.
like cinematic cutscenes. So that's gonna be awesome.
To everyone watching.
Yeah, Toxic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. No, Toxic's just saying like the background music, because like, yeah, we're sorting that out right now as we speak. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, to everyone watching, I got a we haven't even started the stream yet. I got a whole outline going. We're just kind of going to go off of specific things, and we're gonna just go into different categories and cover everything that's been announced, including the most recent couple Slayers Club streams, and some things I'm not even sure if you heard about quite yet, Boss Ranker, because
I mean, probably not, because I don't really tune into the streams.
This past stream, we got a couple juicy little tidbits, but that was just past Thursday.
Okay, awesome.
But we'll get into that. But yeah, QuakeCon bound guys. Hopefully everyone can make it.
Before we go into that, Sneaky J Cole just wanted to ask us how we're doing. So, you know, how are you doing, Icon? You having a good life so far? You've been really busy, man. Like, dude, that's why. Yeah.
It's crazy. I have a cool video coming out. I've been working slowly but surely on it. Hopefully the next week or so is gonna be it. But aside from that, it's been busy. Nothing but work, kid, all that mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Balancing it all. How about you, dude?
I've been doing good, man. I've been doing decent, just making some videos. I got a video releasing tomorrow, which is the most work and effort I've ever put into a video of mine, and it's also one of the longest, so check my channel around tomorrow, guys, if you want to see that. It's going to be around Doomslayer, going through the evolution of the character and his power scaling and all that fun stuff.
All right, let me get this picture going.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
How are we looking? Is this it? Can you see it? No?
No, I mean, wait, it could just be my screen. No,
it's not coming up. Hold up.
No, you're all good, man. It's fine. It's black.
It's black. It's still black. Hold up. I switched it back and it's still black. This is not good.
It's alright, man. Don't worry. The community is very forgiving to mistakes, believe me. Have you seen my gameplay?
Have you seen, Have you seen my upload schedule?
Oh, dude, don't even go there, man.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
Brutal. No, it's fine.
It's a later problem.
That's what she said, bro. That's crazy.
It's black? Oh god, that's hilarious.
That's wild, but yeah.
I wonder if Hugo is here right now. Nah, I doubt it. He usually makes himself known. He talks crap about his own game in the comments with some fake looking channel. All right. Let's get into it. Enough stalling.
Does he actually fucking?
He'll be like
tears into his own game.
He'll be like,
brutal.
Doom the Dark Ages is just a stupid game where you shoot people effortlessly or something like that. He'll just do some stupid crap like that.
Schedule is disgusting. Yeah. Brutal.
This is disgusting.
It's just the podium. So wait, what's going on? Are you gonna show us the image, or are you having trouble with that?
I'll get to it if I can.
That's cool. Don't worry. All right. What do you want to talk about in the meantime?
It's coming up black for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm using a cheap second monitor, guys. I don't have a good one. That's a later issue. So yeah. This is Disgusting Midnight. Yep, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Doing the mid-ages, flop ages, parry shoot. I mean, to be fair, the parrying stuff, like, I can kind of get behind that. Right there.
That's some Hugo words.
Oh, we got Spider Boy in the chat, man. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want them to add a new weapon, new enemies, and new mechanics, and that's the DLC Connect with Doom 2016. Well, we can only hope.
All right. Let's jump into this.
Let's get into it.
All right.
Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah.
First, we're gonna cover story last because that's probably the bulk of it, and we want to just get the rest of the stuff out of the way. Okay. So, to open it up, let's talk about. So Doom the Dark Age, let's talk about the new mobility, and this kind of ties up to a lot of their new combat and gameplay sort of expectations. So mobility is an interesting thing with Dark Ages. As we know, it's much more horizontal, much more grounded, less verticality, and that's, dodging and weaving is a core mechanic. But now it appears that they are throwing in something to spice up that loop in terms of mobility, whether that's through the spear or the sort of dash nugget is connected to something else. We're not sure, but So we're going to get some mobility options, and having a dash. What do you think of a dash in a game that's supposed to be more focused on dodging and weaving, less sort of movement exploitation in terms of stuff like that, you know?
I mean, right now it's kind of hard to imagine a dash just because I'm so familiar with the gameplay loop of Dark Ages. So, I mean, it could really work if they optimize how the enemies behave or something like that. Or I don't know how a dash could really work, honestly. I think what would be cool though is I don't know, maybe I mean they're clearly going to improve, they're going to upscale the difficulty for this DLC. So maybe they have a few enemy types that really tests your like skill and knowledge of the dash mechanic and test your ability of how to use it effectively during combat. I think that'd be a pretty good idea because we have the Archvile, right? We're gonna get into that later, but that's like
That's a
I
fair
don't know. Maybe
point.
they could find a way to test that, you know?
We'll get into this when we talk about the Archvile, but yeah, I have a very good thing to back. Oh my gosh, dude!
Oh,
There's a spear. There's a spear right there. Now I think about it. Seeing Hato's words, there is a spear quite literally on the screen right now.
Oh, dude, I have a question. You know the dash? Do you think the dash is gonna do damage to demons like it did in Eternal? Even if it's like piss poor damage, do you think it's still gonna like tickle the demons?
Imagine a blood guys. Imagine a blood punch, but it's a dash. That is awesome because like think about it. We have the shield bash.
Idea.
The shield bash.
Idea.
Whenever you kill a cluster of fodder, you know you have the shield charge. Whenever you shield bash with it, it has increased damage. What if they do a sort of if the dash is separated from the spear? What if they have like a dash that's not like a double dash but a single dash, and it's like a blood punch sort of deal? Like you're supposed to use it wisely because this is a game where you're supposed to be dodging and weaving and moving strategically against, you know, with seeing slow moving projectiles coming at you. You know, dashing around that is going to be kind of cheap if you ask me. That's like a core mechanic is dodging and weaving slow moving projectiles. Having the ability to dash will ruin that. So what if the dash is not tied to the spear, or if it's a, you know, horizontal like left and right dash at all? What if it's like a blood punch type deal where it's like it makes you kind of save it? That would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be a cool idea.
Like
I'd be down for
impact
that.
explosion sort of thing. Okay. Interesting.
They said they might be a gauntlet of sorts. Oh, there might be a gauntlet of sorts. Horde Mode Gaming mentioned it in one of his videos.
Yeah. We'll get to that when we talk about weapons. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Cool.
So that's all right. So I guess we can move to weapons now, specifically the spear, because now that we talked about mobility having a big difference, I'll tell you this. So we don't know for sure if it's a spear. I'm going to be the one to say it. Technically, we don't know if it's a spear, but guys, it's going to be a spear. But you know, who cares?
You see it right there.
There's a spear in front of us.
It's in the center, yeah.
So this started from months ago. Lovely old game director Hugo Martin decided to start giving us hints, like words of the day. Word of the day was it rhymes with steer. So, you know, spear, nothing else. Unless it's talking about world spear, a spear in a medieval game is the likely candidate. And
oh yeah, for sure.
Off of that, the idea of combining that with the whole mobility and all those sort of nuggets there, people have kind of come up with the idea of what if the spear was connected to the mobility. And then Hugo went on to eventually tease a sort of forward, like, not like a leap, but like a forward dash gesture towards, like in terms of that, like the attacks and stuff. I'm trying to remember his exact words. He said, he was like doing a hypothetical. It was like, imagine if we had some sort of like forward thrust thing. So like, which I like the idea of a forward dash, a sort of left and right dash. Seems contradictory to the gameplay loop, but it's interesting. So and then he went further on to add spear throw or not spear throw into the mix. So having it's Salim, dude. Salim's awesome. Shout out to him. So having throw in there, a lot of people are connecting that to the spear because who wouldn't have a throw option for the spear? Why would you have just a like sort of stab dash thing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
tied to that. You know, a spear throw is essential to the point of a spear. You know, it's not
Oh,
just
for sure.
close encounter thing. Yeah, Salim's
Like,
awesome, guys. If you haven't seen Salim's mods for Eternal, go check him out. Awesome dude. And yeah, anyways, back to what we're saying. You have anything to add to that?
Oh yeah, dude, I got a question. Do you think this is going to be like an Argent Energy kind of spear, or do you think it's going to be like a unique, like powerful spear in the context of the world and the context of the game? You know,
Argent Energy, maybe
Like,
not. But,
yeah,
so I don't know. We can get to this with the story, but and at this point in the
'cause
story,
yeah,
Argent Energy isn't quite a thing yet. But it very well could be. You know, like Wraith Energy, whatever. That's all existent. We expect to see more on Argent Energy in the DLC. But a lot of his other weapons, if they're not like his melee weapons, if they're not like cosmic, they are infused with like Wraith stuff. Like his shield, you know, isn't just a regular shield. It's, you know, I can't remember the freaking material they use, but it's, you know, they're kind of empowered. So we're not going to get a basic spear, but having an Argent Energy spear
like the adamantium
would be cool.
of doom. Yeah,
Yeah, the adamantium, the vibranium of doom, essentially.
yeah, the vibrate. That's the what I'm talking about.
tomato,
Yeah,
tomato.
yeah, for sure.
Dude, so Vega just said, and this is cool, I never thought of that. Imagine if the spear was made with a Wraith crystal. That would be cool. Oh my god.
That would be dope, man.
I've
love
never
that.
thought of that.
That'd be awesome.
No, like, because Wraith crystals and you know, crystal, shard, whatever you want to call it, it's been called different things. That's like pure Wraith energy, you know, the Slayer uses it, and Tag 2 to power the Gate of Devoom. It's a lot of energy, dude. So having that would be awesome. But in doing so, I wonder if that means he would travel to the World Spear again. Who knows? But so yeah, another thing about the spears, I don't think it's going to be a melee weapon. I think it's going to be its own sort of like, it was never confirmed to be a melee weapon. Like, I can't imagine having it equipped if it has so much. So, okay, so we have 3 or up to 3 pips, up to 4 pips of whatever melee option we have of just this melee weapon. So if we have a spear that can do so much more, we would never use those again, right? Like, we would never use the Dread Mace and the Flail, especially the Flail. We would never use the Gauntlets if we had a spear that is tied to mobility amongst damage and other things. So I don't know how they're going to intertwine that with the gameplay. Maybe it's like a charge-up thing, like the Sentinel Hammer. But, in terms of gameplay, I don't know how it would be a consistent tool, like the shield or whatever's in your right hand, because that would, you know, you can only have so many arms.
I think it will be treated like a tool, because that's how most of them have been. You know, pretty much from 2016. Like, that's how the chainsaws always worked. That's how the Crucible, the Sentinel Hammer worked. You know, so unless they make the spear like a parry tool, which I also think would be pretty cool, I could maybe use the spear to parry different attacks, you know? Because what they could do is they could use the spear. You know how they indicate parries with glows. So you with green glows you parry. You know, that's like the color visual indication.
Right.
Yeah, they could do like red for the spear or blue or something like that. You know, like just like test you in different ways.
That's a very good observation and very good like prediction. But I have something else I just thought, and right before I say this, Sneaky J Cool just said it. So there hasn't been a whole lot of talk about the shield saw in terms of the DLC, and that could go just because like Hugo hasn't been hyper focused on it. But what if you could swap situationally between the shield saw and the spear?
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, we got Horde Mode Gaming in the chat there. Replace block and parry with a perfect dodge.
Horde Mode
How
Gaming.
do you feel about that? The Goat of Doom. But
I'm not gonna do the impersonation right now. I'm compelled to, but
dude, that's brutal. No, you can't disrespect the goat, bro.
No, absolutely not. No, all right, no. Back to what we're saying though. Imagine a quick swap between the two melee weapons. Because think about it, they're both tied to mobility. They're both super functional. How are you gonna have a very in-depth melee weapon if you can't have two-hand melee weapons? That's just not gonna happen. But so imagine a quick swap between the shield whenever you need it, and then the spear whenever you need it. Like, think about it. Different tool for the job. It's going to create some quick swap elements. Kind of, quick swapping is not intertwined in Doom the Dark Ages like it was Eternal, but Hugo has hinted at the fact that we are going to be seeing more quick swapping techniques for certain things, but he said it's not going to be like Eternal per se, but wow, hold on. This is kind of getting me thinking. That might be crazy if there is a quick swap, like say you need a shield parry, right? So you parry or block, and then you immediately go in for a dash back with a spear throw, right? That would be interesting.
I mean, yeah, I'd like that because it'd make the gameplay a lot more dynamic, you know? Because I feel like with the DLC, and this is like a lot of traps DLCs really fall into, in the sense that, you know, they feel good, but they're too familiar. You know what I mean? You know, and I feel like with a DLC like this, where there's so much anticipation, so much hype, so much scale, I think you really need to spruce up the combat and spruce up the gameplay in a way that makes the experience feel fresh, especially considering how long this is going to be.
No,
you know,
exactly.
so I feel like having a completely different way to engage with the enemies, to engage in combat, to really test your skills as a player, especially consider that, bro, the Doom community, like, they're very skilled, you know, so you have to find ways to really challenge them.
No.
And they've pretty much done every single thing they can do to challenge you in Dark Ages. So the only thing they could, and the game's like significantly easier than the other games in terms of like how to master the combat. So a great way to do that would just be introduce an entirely new different parrying system, or different, you know, ways to like counter, or, you know, and the spear's a great way to do that. It's like a new element of the combat.
Exactly, an entirely different tool to do the things you have already been trained to do.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So,
yeah, for sure.
like hell surges and direct parries. Take that back. Hell surges maybe are strict to shield. You know, shield bashing and those long distance leaps and stuff like that can be, you know, confined to the shield. But now you can parry with the spear, and you have other melee options and
yeah, that'd be awesome,
mobility options,
especially if you can throw it too. Like, that'd be awesome. I mean, that makes sense too. The quick swapping makes sense now because you could treat them both as a, you know, the spear would be more dynamic than the chainsaw, or the shield saw, sorry, because you can throw the spear like the shield saw, and you can also use it as like an offensive close quarters combat tool, which is something you can't really use with a shield saw. It's more defensive, you know?
100%.
So that's a really good idea.
This is crazy. All right, Sneaky J Cool. I think this might be a Hugo quote, so I'm going to read it. Regardless, it's a very good point to back up what we're talking about. The gameplay loop can still be the same, but with fresh new stuff. There will also be a new loop to master. Yeah, so we already knew there's a new loop to master, which goes with what we're saying. The spear being the integral tool that probably will not only be the focus of the new quick swap idea, but the new loop to master. But anyways, there will be a new loop to master that sticks to the impactful monster truck gameplay of the Dark Ages. Two separate styles. This would, I think that'll... So the DLCs already dial everything to 11 and introduce enough new stuff to throw curveballs in our already mastered, you know, like black belt level encounters. So and the Dark Ages DLCs, excuse me, and Eternals DLCs, we got this through not only the Sentinel Hammer, but the new AI that, you know, like we had the Spirit, we had the what's the one that everyone hates? Oh my gosh, the Prowler, the Cursed Prowler.
The Spirit.
No, yeah, all right. So the Spirit, the Cursed Prowler,
all of them,
the Blood Angel. That's how they threw the curveballs at us. They spiked the skill ceiling, and had new AI that just totally threw us like into a desperation sort of thing. And I think that this new loop is how it's going to do it this time, with having a spear, not as a melee weapon, but as a new tool. And how that's going to play out is, you know, a debate. But I think having a quick swap between the shield and the spear would be awesome.
And another interesting question, Toxic brought it up a while ago. Do you think there's going to be like guns in this DLC in terms of like long, you know, range weapons? Or do you think they're gonna substitute like range combat with the shield instead, with the spear instead?
Well,
Like, do you think they're gonna hone all in on the spear and develop like a new combat system, or do you think they're gonna give us new weapons too?
well, so there is a second secret weapon, whether that's a melee or something else, we have no idea.
Okay, cool.
I would like for it to be the Crucible, but I don't think it's going to happen. So this new weapon, secondary weapon, is a secret weapon. It's going to have meaningful progression and meaningful bits of lore that we don't know about. We don't know if it's been introduced or not already. Hey, chat, can you remind me, Salim, and the core audience that sticks with Hugo's words, is it the spear or the new weapon that's going to have like a fleshed out system? I'm pretty sure it's the spear, but like, is there gonna be like a secret?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
A secret upgrade path for the second weapon that's gonna make it like a beast once you max it out and take the time to do that. Which one was it? Just so I don't, spread any misinformation. The spear.
And,
okay, I thought so. Just double checking before I.
And there was also a cut weapon from Dark Ages too, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a cosmic chain shot alternate weapon. And it shot like projectile. It shot like almost like orb-like projectiles.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You saw that, right? So like that could definitely be in the game.
I don't think that I don't think anything they show concepts of is going to make it into the DLC. I think that's like so as possible as it is. I don't think it would be the case, but that was a cool idea. But there is something to bind to that key regardless. So yeah. But I think it was like the 3-animator, maybe that might be what it was. It was something like that. But it was
Reanimator. I don't know about that. I don't know.
But I don't think it ever had like an official name. It just had concept names. But yeah, okay. So yeah, it wasn't confirmed to be the spear or the super weapon. Excuse me, the second weapon. But the second weapon I think is optional. I don't know. But regardless, you have to go out of your way to unlock its potential, and whether or not it's post-launch entirely or post-completion entirely or not is up for debate. But with there being 30% of the game available in terms of encounters and exploration after the game's completed, makes me think that like that second weapon is entirely, whatever upgrade path it has is all optional and unnecessary for the core combat loop. So I don't think it's tied to mobility. I don't think it's tied to anything else. I think that's all for the spear or whatever new tool.
Okay, and this is a interesting question too. Do you think this new weapon that's not the spear, or like maybe even upgrades, do you think some sort of weapon progression will be tied to the Slayer Gates? Kind of similar to like the Unmaker from Doom Eternal.
I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, it's possible.
Because that'd be cool. It'd be a really fun way to build up to a rewarding, weapon or like a rewarding gameplay tool. Because I loved, even though the Unmaker was kind of underwhelming in Doom Eternal, I loved the progression of getting that weapon. Like, it was so satisfying the way they did it, where there was like locks on that machine, right? Like holding the Unmaker, like levitating it. Like, dude, that was so awesome. I want that to come back, man. I love that. That was so dope.
I'm sure they will have some reward for the Slayer Gates, especially considering. All right, we'll segue this into the Slayer Gates. So, in terms of the I don't know if the Slayer Gates are tied to the weapon or not, but we'll get into that now. So, Slayer Gates are returning to some extent. They might not be called Slayer Gates, but who knows? Something similar. The skill ceiling will be leveled, like matched, or beyond something you'd see in the Holt Slayer Gate, which is awesome. Probably entirely optional, and I think that those will be very fun. In terms of rewarding, like unlockables or progression tied to them, we don't know anything about it per se. How many there are, anything like that. I imagine some will become available post completion. I imagine awesome. that is a lot of their optional encounters. In the Metroidvania-esque experience is going to be tied to the Slayer Gates.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, man. That's gonna be so dope. That's gonna be so awesome. Horde Mode Gaming says Hugo has mentioned that there's going to be a ton of secrets in the DLC. which has to mean tons of new hidden resources, so it makes sense that there's new upgrades to unlock. Yeah, I agree with that. You know? I mean, dude, I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of Slayergate specifically being tied to the weapons, we don't know, but yeah, no, absolutely, there's going to be other stuff to enhance the overall experience. Taking our time to go through these areas and revisit certain locations is going to be worth our time with building our Slayer and the new combat loop system, whether it's weapons or spear or whatnot, mobility. So, yeah, I don't know. I imagine Slayer gates are a big part of that. But
yeah, absolutely.
Let's move on to... Okay. So we got mobility, we got all that. Okay. I guess let's talk about the new enemies.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Do you want to... Yeah, so we got the Archvile. That's like one that's basically confirmed, you know? So we got that. Besides the Archvile, I'm not really aware of like what other new potential enemies there might be, you know, outside of bosses and stuff like that. But yeah, how do you feel about the Archvile, man? Are you exciting that? Are you excited about that infamous enemy returning? You know,
I am. I'm very excited. I hope they do something new with them. Hugo has gone. I can't remember whose chat it was. It might have been the newer UN streamer. I think he went into his chat and like hinted at some potential information towards him, and it was just like, that's hilarious to me because that's just the most obscure and minute way to find updates about a game. But, yeah, Videz, that's right. He's a cool dude, by the way. But no, it's hilarious. But no, the Archvile, I want him to be completely different. I want him to be... I would love, and this is going on what we're saying about the whole dash mechanic. So with mobility being a core thing and having a dash... a new enemy like the Archvile, staying true to his Doom 2 roots of being a fast, like speedy, whether it's through teleporting or just like running around, lanky dude, super heavy dude, just like a bullet sponge in terms of like health. That would be awesome. An awesome reason to have a dash is for maneuvering around encounters where he's not only coming at you, but with attacks, but keeping his distance and summoning / reviving dead enemies. So I think mobility will be awesome if they introduce the Archvile in a way where it's just entirely different. And having large battlefields, I don't see why they won't have a more a quicker Archvile overall. Because the one in Eternal, I just... For a fast game, I understood that the way the combat loops environments were built, that he was more or less stationary. Because, you know, he had the shield, he'd teleport, he'd just revive or summon a bunch of demons in front of him. But I imagine they're going to do something completely different, and I hope that's the case. I would love a fast, speedy, lanky Archvile. That would honestly...
And I'm super... Oh, yeah, and I'm super excited for that, too, because it's, you know... I feel like the Archvile's always been like the ultimate mini boss for every game he's in. Like I feel like he poses, for at least me personally, he poses 100%. The most challenge. He's the most aggressive, the most agile, and basically versatile demon in most of the games. You know, he's definitely the biggest pain to get around there. And I feel like in this game, having the Archvile be more agile, be more quick and swift compared to like the other demons in the game. Because the other demons in Doom the Dark Ages, they are they're slow but aggressive, if that makes sense. Like, they attack very defensively while also offensively at the same time. Because they have to, like, find a balanced way to really implement the parry mechanic, implement ways to, you know, like, delayed attacks, just ways to screw you over in a more, like, calculated way. Whereas, you know, in Doom Eternal, it's way more chaotic and insane. You know? So I feel like having an enemy that goes against, like, the combat loop and the combat pacing of the base campaign, I feel like that'd be a genius way to really screw with the players, you know?
I agree.
And
we kind of have that with the Komodo, but having someone induce the amount of fear in the player as much as the Archvile did in Doom 2 would be incredible. Like, the Archvile was like, when you see a Cyber Demon, or you hear a Cyber Demon in the classic Doom, you freak out. when you hear an Archvile in the classic Doom, you freak out. Doom
Yeah.
2, excuse me, Doom Eternal, you could argue that about the Cyber Demon in a certain combat situation, but the Archvile was never really that. And I don't feel like they would miss the opportunity to make him the iconic ruiner of runs, again, like they totally need to do something like that, if you ask me.
Oh, you know what they need
awesome.
to do as well? You know what they need to do as well? They need to give him his own, like, introduction, like, cutscene that they were gonna do in Doom Eternal.
My God. Yeah, we
Like,
were
you remember that badass cutscene, bro, where he, like, walks through and then he equips the Crucible and they're about to, like, clash, and that's where you have the title drop there. They need to bring something like that back.
It would be cool. I imagine they did it for pacing.
Awesome. Like a homage or something, like a little reference there. That'd be dope.
Going into Terrace Nabad and just not knowing he's there, and then you figure out he's there in the corner somewhere. It's just like, I'm not saying it's underwhelming by any means. It's just like you don't expect it, but I do like the oh crap moment of it. It's just not as iconic as having an introduction, if you ask me. But they better have a cutscene, 100%.
Oh yeah, because I mean, if you have a cutscene, it's like a very it invokes a certain specific reaction, whereas, when you have like a non-scripted sequence like that of going up against the Archvile and just like a random encounter, it's memorable and it's fun, but some players might encounter that in a really memorable and visceral way, whereas other players, it might be like a, oh crap, he's here, and it's very sudden, kind of forgettable. So I feel like, and he's just such a cool enemy, bro. He's always been one of my... He's an enemy I love to hate, Like, he's like the ultimate mini-boss in these games, and I really want them to continue that tradition. But, dude, real quick, I'm gonna make a cup of coffee. Because, guys, it's like nearly 10 p.m. where I am. I'm a lot later than the simp. So I'm just gonna make a cup of coffee. Do you want to engage with the chat, the audience, real quick while I make this cup of coffee?
100%.
All right, sweet, dude. I'll be back in like 5 minutes, guys. Just give me a second.
Archvile champion would be insane. Oh my god. But just closing with the Archvile quick. I think the Archvile will be a great way to engage the potential dash mechanic. If it is something more than just a little nudge or push, or if it is like a forward thrust. If it's tied to the throw, whatever. I think it would take advantage of having a quick Archvile go around the arena would take advantage of that situation. But no, I don't want to hit scan attack. That'd be horrible. Doc. In terms of design, I'd want to see a more demonic design. I think the cosmic stuff is cool, but I want to see more original cosmic entities, I guess. Unless it's the Pain Elemental, because I feel like his design was meant, like it was like made for the cosmic realm, I swear. But yeah, sort of design though, definitely more demonic. I would love to get a good balance between those two realms with their enemy designs, but when he gets back, we'll get into the rest of sort of the environment and exploration stuff, and then start talking story. Oh yeah, the hub. That's going to be sneaky. We're going to talk about that when we get into the more general and environmental stuff. Combat and gameplay type stuff. An on-foot Titan battle. So I see a lot of people saying this, and as much as I love the concept, I don't think it would work. And I have my own thoughts ever since Eternal came out, how you would do that. Like, for example, with Malagog, a lot of people assumed we were going to fight him, but we never did. If they were going to do an on-foot Titan battle, I don't think fighting under or in the distance with basic weaponry would be satisfying. So I would like to sort of scale the Titan and sort of have different phases of attacking him, kind of like maybe you did with the Icon of Sin, but then you scale him, maybe through platforming segments. I don't know how they do it with the Dark Ages. But you sort of scale him a bit, and then you take out certain segments of his body, and then another phase of on-foot combat would start. Hot take, didn't like the old one boss fight that much. That's fair. A lot of people didn't like the Atlan segment, so having the old one be a only unique to the Atlan section, I can understand that. I thought it was cool. I didn't mind the Atlan segments, especially with the update. Hugo said before the release of the game, before release that the game will not end with the sarcophagus. But what if he refers to the main campaign as we know and not DLC? No, that's going to be the DLC as well. We are not going to get that at all. Unfortunate. Well, not unfortunately, but unfortunate to a lot of the lore nerds. They want to see stuff like that, but it's fortunate for people like me and I think the majority of the community, because it just means more games and more opportunities for lore at this point in the timeline. And again, this brings the whole question of should we get all these lore heavy moments from the codexes put into a game? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I'll ever want to see something like that. I think the stuff that's talked in Legend shouldn't be fully fleshed out or seen on screen. You know, like the Slayer's Testaments are iconic because they're left open to interpretation and up to the imagination, and there's just enough information to wonder about them. You know, like we don't even know how chronological it all is and how it all flows, but we know just enough that it's engaging. And I don't think I want to see too much of them put on screen. Is it confirmed that the wretch will actually appear in the DLC or just codex entries? Neither. We'll talk about that when we get to story. Story's gonna have a lot to talk about here, but no, we do not know, but it is possible. We have a couple teases towards it, but that's it. Nothing direct.
All right. Hello. Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah. No, you're good. Sorry, I was reading comments.
All right. No, you good. You good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just real quick, what did you think of the old one boss fight?
What do I think? What's that? Sorry.
The old one boss fight.
What do I think of it?
Yeah. What's your opinion?
It's fine. I mean, it's Cthulhu, but it's not really Cthulhu, if you know what I mean. The cosmic realm, like, influence is crazy. Like, you know, I love it. I love it, bro. It's like awesome. Although it feels underwhelming, but I can't explain why. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's something about it. Like, I feel like maybe it should have had a second phase that was a bit more elaborate or something. I'm not too sure. Maybe he takes us to, like, the cosmic realm in the second phase. It was really good and really cool. I just feel like, you know, the aura's off the charts and it's, you know, absolutely fan. I keep trying not to curse. Like, it's why I keep stumbling on my words, 'cause I'm so used to cussing.
Yeah, I try not to curse too much on here.
I don't want to cuss on your stream, bro, out of respect, but, like...
Family friendly, dude. What the hell?
Yeah, family friendly of the Doom game, but like, it's awesome, it's fine, like, it's good. I feel like that's something they definitely could improve on in this DLC, is the boss fight, the boss fights, my bad. Because the boss fights in Dark Ages, they're really cool, but I feel like there's not really a lot of gimmicks to them. They all follow the same similar formula, whereas I feel like in Doom Eternal... yeah, even in Doom 2016, to be honest. Well, Doom 2016 just had great boss fights that were incredibly well designed.
They were great, yeah.
The Doom dance was so ridiculously fun in those fights. Doom Eternal, the bosses got a bit gimmicky, but you could also argue that each boss was memorable and unique, you know? They all tested a different mechanic, they all challenged you in different ways. You know, the quality of said fights and the overall success of the boss archetype, you know, you could make arguments for why it was good or bad. But I feel like in Dark Ages, they're really lacking in boss variety in terms of, like, how they're designed. So,
That's fair.
if we can maybe get some gimmick fights or just better design fights, maybe take what they learned from Dark Ages and just... I mean, I get it, like... It's easy to say, oh, you're 3 games deep into this trilogy, you should know how to design a fight. But in reality, they're doing completely different combat loops and different gameplay styles, so it's harder to, like, design fights for those specific, you know, gameplay loops and gameplay structures. So I feel like, yeah, I definitely, if they could just improve that in the DLC, but actually, that's a better question. Who do you think we're going to be fighting in the DLCs?
Me? Oh.
You know? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that when we get a story. I have a couple things we should talk about before because I could just go on and on about that. There's a lot to talk about in terms of story, but just a couple quick fire things we'll go over real quick. So we know there's gonna be new weapons. We talked about that. More mobility options. A new toss up in the gameplay loop. Something new to master. Slayer gates, all that stuff. But there is also, you know, the Metroidvania aspect. There is the fact that there's a lot of backtracking, even beyond the initial completion of the main story. At least 2 weapons. And
Awesome.
let's talk about the hub. So the hub is something interesting because this game easily could have had a hub like Eternal, but it didn't. I can't... Hugo talked a bit on it, but it's just something that didn't quite fit exactly for them, but it was in the original plans. But yeah, so the DLC, we're getting one, and it is presumably the Creedmaker ship, which we will get into for story purposes, but we do not know. But what we do know is that it is fully fleshed out and has a lot of cool secrets and Easter eggs, just like, you know, something we could expect from the Fortress of Doom. Maybe even better, because it's not their first attempt at this. So let's talk about what it is if it's not the Creed ship. What would you like to see in terms of, like, a hub? What would you expect to be in there in terms of design, in terms of, like, setup, everything?
Well, first of all, I feel like we need... I really want the hub area to have some sort of, like, personality. You know, I would maybe, like... dude, I don't even know how you do it. Just maybe some, like, Dark Ages, like, touches, like Doomslayer touches, like maybe he has, like, some weights lying around, or like a couple of guitars, like, you know, like in Doom Eternal, bro, like he literally has, like, portraits of his rabbit, like, scattered around.
Do you think it should be as Easter egg filled as the last one, or do you think it should be more, like, immersive for the story and the environment? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I'd argue the last game does both, no? Like, you know, it's filled with lore and it's also filled with Easter eggs. You know, it's like the perfect balance. I mean, the hub area in this, it's not going to be as elaborate as Eternal, obviously, just in scale.
Well, it
but,
might
like,
be.
if we... I don't think it will be, in my personal opinion. I think it will be close. It'll be very close. I'm thinking, like, 2/3 the size of the Fortress of Doom. I don't think it's going to be the same scale. I mean, we've already fought in this hub area. We already have an idea of, like, what a couple of the rooms are going to look like. So I feel like, to spruce it up, let's just go crazy. Like, just go crazy, I don't know. I mean, but it wouldn't make sense, though, considering how would he have time to decorate this place and add a bunch of stuff, you know?
I don't know. We'll have to see. So, maybe it'll be more tasteful this time around. Less arcadey, like Jay said. He said or excuse me. Yeah, Hato said that the last one was a bit arcadey in tone, and I agree with that. Maybe they'll do it more tastefully this time around.
I mean, I don't know. I quite like the arcadey nature of it. Like, I just thought it was really fun, like the Fortress of Doom. I really enjoyed how there were several unlockable suits, like unlockable weapons, unlockable upgrades. Like, it just felt every time I went there, I was excited because I knew there was something new to unlock or something new to engage in, right? And I really want that in the Dark Ages. I feel like we definitely need like an Unmaker type, whether it's a suit that gives you like special abilities, whether it's a weapon, an upgrade. We need something. We need like a grand progression, like motivation.
That's
in
fair.
the hub.
Well,
like we need that, and then maybe some unlockable suits because listen, I've ranted about this on my channel. I don't live in the States, so I'm locked out of 90% of these skins. I can't buy the bubblegum you guys buy. I can't go to Joe's Pizza like you guys can. I'm like locked out of this. Like, I wish we were friends before the release, because I would have said, bro, can you buy me like a bubblegum and give me the code, please? You know? Like, because it sucks. So I feel like give us some... Chill out with the sponsor deals. Chill out with the collaborations with various
Prince
brands
Street
and stuff.
Pizza,
because...
several states away only.
Yeah, like chill out. I don't want to buy a... Okay, I nearly crashed out. I don't want to buy a pizza, bro. I don't want to buy a pizza. Just don't make me buy a pizza. Just let me unlock skins, unlock suits naturally by playing the game, completing challenges, and earning like a currency. An in-game currency, not something I pay for, Capcom. Like something I can, you know, like it's such a simple thing, right? Just give me that. That's all I want. So just give me some suits. Give me incentives to, especially if there's Metroidvania aspects like you've mentioned. Give me an incentive to go back and play these levels so I can unlock new things that give me even more incentives to go back and play these levels with new gear and equipment. You know, that's been pretty much what I want. You know.
Yeah. Well, like you just said, the Metroidvania aspect will be in the levels, and there will be a lot of backtracking and progression there. But in terms of the hub per se, it's really hard to say how it's gonna to do that. But I'm sure they have their own ways, and I'm sure it's fleshed out enough to keep the player engaged with exploration and all that. And again, this will kind of tie. All right. So a lot of people are under the impression that because there's a hub and because the Metroidvania aspect, and I know we said this word a lot, but there's no other way to describe it.
Do you want to explain it to people just in case they don't know what that means?
So there will be a lot of backtracking and a lot of meaningful placements of things, like not necessarily something like Resident Evil, but if you played Metroid or Castlevania or games like that, there is a lot of backtracking to specific locations whenever you've built your character up or acquired certain things, and it's not always necessary, but in terms of progression, but it can be. So we don't know the extent of the of how it affects progression throughout the levels, but I assume it will. But because of that, people think that there will be a choose your mission like path aspect to it, and I think that would be cool. And we'll talk about it more with the story side of things, but because there are potentially more than one antagonist to hunt down per se, there's going to be different paths to take that will all kind of connect to the in-game segment, which is a thing of its own. So the in-game is going to be unlocked after the main progression, and main game is here. Hey guys, the hub is less cheeky, more immersive. Okay, that's exactly what I figured. Wait. Okay, that's Hugo.
Is that the real Hugo?
Yeah, that's Hugo. That's pretty cool. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome,
He is 100%
no
right. What's up, Hugo? Love your stuff, dude. That's exactly what I thought it would be. It'd be less cheeky, less cartoony, and Easter egg filled, and more tasteful if they do the Easter eggs, and more immersive to the environment and the story, I imagine. A lot less. Anyways, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. But if there is a sort of path-based progression in the game, then having a hub is the best way to express that.
I mean, Hugo just said right now we're going to have light Metroidvania elements, but lots of backtracking throughout the whole experience via locks and keys. So that pretty much tells you everything you need to know. That's awesome, dude. I can't believe Hugo Martin is here, man. That shows how much clout you have, Iconosim.
Bro, don't do me like that.
You're a lot more popular than people give you credit for, dude.
Don't toot my horn, dude. I don't like that.
Toot your horn.
Interesting. That's all I have to say about Hugo's statement. Interesting.
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna be fantastic, man. Like, what haven't we touched on here?
Well,
in terms of
well, we still have everything story to talk about, and
for sure,
I want to preface everything else because a lot of the story stuff is tied to these things we talked about, and so without explaining this, I feel like the story will make a little bit less sense to just jump into. So if I miss anything here, I'll come back to it, but so the Master Arenas, the Slayer Gates, whatever, all that stuff. So. Cool, let's jump into lore, and we'll start off the get-go. So the main game left off where the Slayer essentially hijacked the Creedmaker's ship after the events of the main game, leaving the Night Sentinels after his recent victory, killing Azric. There is no current demonic leader in Hell aside from the Order of the Six or the High Council. So there's no one to necessarily lead the demons to battle. So temporarily a false state of peace in the world, and because of this, people think that he is targeting the High Council because he is dead set on his mission. He goes straight to hell, everything. So that's where people get the idea of that being the hub, because not a lot of options in terms of what we know. There are no other options for the hub. But so yeah, we'll start there. What do you think of the Order of the Six? Do you think that that's what we can expect going forward? Do you think we can expect 6 boss fights?
I'll say this. I think the Order of the Six, I don't know a whole lot about them because we haven't had any on-screen appearance. Well, we've had, like, you know, we were supposed to get a couple, but they were cut and replaced with various other things and, like, gimmicks and stuff like that, which is absolutely fine and cool. But I don't think we're going to get 6 individual boss fights. And to be honest, I don't really want 6. That seems like a bit much. I think it'd be really hard to create 6 unique, interesting fights across the whole DLC. I would honestly much prefer, like, 3. Give me 3 well-designed fights over 6, like, samey, mediocre fights. You know what I mean? Like, I'd prefer that. But I will say, what could be awesome is we could have, like, tag team fights, which, you know, like, gank fights, essentially, which is what we saw in the base game.
Hey,
you know,
before Hugo Martin leaves, sorry, Hugo Martin just saying bye. I just want to say thank you, Hugo, for the lore nuggets. I appreciate it. That's some crazy info that you gave us. I appreciate it. And I hope you were here to hear TheBossRanker talk shit about your boss fights.
Bro, I love his boss fights. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Nah, dude, we love you, Hugo. Take care, buddy.
Much appreciated, dude. But yeah, anyways, continue with what you're saying. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. No, bro, don't be afraid to interrupt me, man, if, you know, you need to say the piece. Sure stream, after all. But, yeah, so back to where we were. Yeah, give me 3 good boss fights, man. Give me 3 well-designed fights, and especially considering we've already had one we've had one gank boss. Really take what the Azrak and the Witch was in terms of boss design, and just maybe have 2 fights. So maybe we could have, like, you know, Doomslayer kills a couple of them on screen without a boss fight. Maybe they're a lot more weaker, or maybe we have, like, an intense level which kind of acts like a what's that, like a oh dude, what's the word, like a prelude boss, almost like like an intense encounter to substitute a boss, yeah, something like that. But the bosses we do get, I want these fights to be dynamic. I want these fights to be intense. I want them to be incredibly challenging, because I don't know, maybe it's just me and the fact that I've gotten. Yeah, maybe it's me and I've just gotten good at the game, which I don't think I have. Honestly, I suck at this game. Dude, I'm terrible at this game. But I feel like these bosses, like, after you've defeated them once, they're very manageable. Which is something I couldn't really say for the previous games. The previous games, like, really kicked my ass for a while.
Okay.
Like, learning those fights, and it was pretty easy to get overwhelmed. You know?
I got my butt kicked, and I will continue to never be able to... and this is probably my fault for not dying enough. Azric's boss fight is the only one that I still, like, that's, like... That's the best 1v1 I have ever like had in a Doom game, because not as
dude, someone made a video about it. Yeah, some dude made a video about it, and it was excellent. Yeah,
it was just the way like his movesets are orchestrated is such a, it keeps you on your toes. It forces you to engage, and if you are not dialed in on his loop, like a freaking Souls game, and you're playing on Nightmare or UN, then I don't think you'll ever master it. You might master it enough, but you're still gonna get your shit rocked. Pardon the language.
It was Farvane, yes, Rubber Pie, it was Farvane. Shout out to Farvane, great, hopefully he'll be a Doom tuber, he can come on the stream with us someday, but yeah, that was the dude. But go on, man, what were you saying?
No, that's about it, but I want to get on, I could talk about Azric's fight all day. It's a great fight, one of the best boss fights in Doom history. Itself did a great job. What I was saying is the level of challenge for the final boss fight, that's something that I will never... Also, let me know if the music's too loud, guys. It's loud for me. The Azric boss fight is the only one that I can't, like, once you do it once, you can do it anytime. No, I disagree with that for the sake of Azric's fight. Not his final fight, but his, like, his true final fight, where he's enhanced and he's got the Heart of Argent, all that stuff. But
sorry, I was just listening to the music. Your music sounds fine, man. It's not too loud. I appreciate it at all. Yeah, you're all good.
All good, dude.
Oh, but
yeah. So in terms of story, all right. I know, like, you're not as insanely tightly knitted in the story as I am, and
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying to make videos. I'm trying to educate myself on the lore.
Here's the thing: you love Doom lore, but you don't get into the midichlorians of it, and that's commendable. Because, in my opinion, you get a little obsessed if you get into the midichlorians of it. But
yeah, it's like a rabbit hole.
Let's talk a little about the Order of the Six. So, because of the way they're mentioned in the Codex, and because of Eternal, excuse me, and because of their absence in Eternal and its expansions, it makes me feel like they're not around. So if they're not around, how could Hell be without its leaders? From the events of Dark Ages to millions upon, like, up to eons later in Eternal, before the Dark Lords are resurrected. So, like, that being said, are we gonna fight 6 bosses in this game? Are we going to fight 6 bosses before the prequel era is tied up at all? I don't know. I don't think the DLC should flesh out 6 enemies, six villains. But let's talk about the Order of the Six, though. So in this story, they are essentially the Elder Hell Gods of Hell. They are above the currently reigning Dark Lords. They're above Azric. They're in charge of everything, and they report directly to the Dark Lord, whom they serve directly. There's a lot of potential of their relevance to like their biblical nature. Like there's a lot of speculation that they are the in-universe interpretation of like the what's it called? Like the 7 elder something. What's it called? The 7 deadly sins. That's it.
7, yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, I was confused as I do what you're talking about.
They are intertwined with, like, the biblical nature of like the Hell's hierarchy, right? Like all sorts of Abrahamic fiction. I say Abrahamic because, like, we don't know anything about Hell. That's kind of all just like mythology in real life. But, like, they are in a lot of Hell interpretations, they are assumed to be synonymous to the 7 deadly sins, just adjacent, which is cool. But that being said, what do you think that is a good direction for them to go with the DLC, or what do you think would be a potential secondary antagonist if they don't go that route?
So let's just touch on what you just so I can, like, fully grasp it, because it is kind of late. So you were saying, like, we could have the Order of the Six, but instead of just having 6 archetypes of the same character or the same demon, they're all gonna have their own unique gimmicks and unique traits that make them stand out, and they're individual, and they all pose like a unique threat. Right. Is that like along the lines?
Yeah. Do you think?
Yeah. Okay.
do you think that it would serve the story better to have them to have a secondary antagonist present and them being sort of an overarching thing that just exists in the universe and is not necessarily
No,
a
not
true
really. I don't think so, honestly. Six, there's a lot of potential and a lot of things you can do with six unique villains, you know? I feel like if you make these villains intimidating and you give them the screen presence and the aura they deserve, I don't think a second antagonist is really necessary. Unless he plays, or, I mean, wait, but then again, we could go into this as well, that, you know, what if the second antagonist is like a Khan Maker type, you know, character? Like an overarching antagonist, you know?
Right.
Something that's, you know, foreshadowing an antagonistic role in the future, which would be Doom Eternal. But, you know, we can have that as like a fun, cheeky reference, which also could tie up like various plot lines throughout the DLC. But like the main focus here would be the Order of the Six. Like that's a pretty good idea. I like the sound of that.
That's fair. I just again, 6 bosses. How would they execute that? Do you think? Or not 6 bosses, but
yeah.
if they don't go the route of 6 bosses, right? Because that's a lot to ask for a DLC. How would they execute that into the story with the Order of the Six?
Well, when you talk about bosses, do you mean like boss encounters or like character? Okay, boss fights.
With 6 characters, how do you flesh them out? Have them as the main antagonist of a DLC.
Well,
and what's an alternative to that?
I don't think it's possible, man. I don't think you can equally flesh out 6 villains in like a campaign, especially if it's a DLC campaign. The only option is really, well, there's a couple options. We could either like flesh out a couple of them and have like primary antagonists out of the Order of the Six, and then you could have like the secondary antagonists, kind of like Hell Priest and the Khan Maker in Doom Eternal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, like, they have a few cutscenes, you get just enough to establish who these people are, and they'll throw you, like, a few scenes, like how the Hell Priest mistreated the Doomslayer. It's like, okay, this is why I hate these guys, you know? And then you could have, like, you know, the big, like, Order of the Six, like, members, like, the big cheeses of the group, who are really gonna pose a threat, you know?
Right.
Which they kind of did that in, like, the campaign. You remember how in, Doom Dark Ages base campaign, you had Azrak, you had the Witch, and then you had like Hell Priest and the Khan and the Creed Maker, who they were there, they played a role, but they were kind of like background and secondary to the foreground.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? We could do something like that, but 6 characters is a really rocky road. I mean, this is what I want to see personally. Maybe in the first level, we just kill 2 of them. Right, or maybe even
like,
3 of them. In the first level,
Nylock style, like Hell Priest of
yeah.
Right.
In the first like level, we could just have a full-on breach of like a citadel or something, and just kill like half of them straight away.
Dude,
and that means the remaining, which would be so cool, bro. That'd be so badass. That means then you can have like the rest of the DLC to focus on the big 3. And that'd be great because A, you've already established a great introduction to a fantastic experience, and it doesn't give you, you're not trapped in a corner now. Now you can really flesh out these characters and really establish them as like dominant opposing forces that are even more powerful than the people you already went up against. You know?
I think
at least that's kind of my prediction.
Yeah. And to, before we kind of flesh that out a bit more, I think that's a perfect way to introduce the DLC if they are doing 6 of them. But regardless, show like knowing that these are archdemons, elder hell gods. You know, knowing the extent of their power and their place in Hell's hierarchy. Having the DLC start that way is a great way to showcase what we just witnessed in the Dark Ages. We just watched the Slayer become the Doomslayer fully. He got over his, you know, he experienced loss. He got over his tragedy with Surat, and he fully embraced the power and learned to be the Slayer. And so to see it start off that way would just be amazing for the story. Like, not even the gods of hell at, you know, directly after this, you know, directly after he was overwhelmed by a Wraith and Azrak. Directly after that, he just destroys and just just stomps half of Hell's High Council. That would be incredible for the story.
That'd be awesome.
In a great way, a great way to just like put the cherry on top of the story of the last game too, because it was just about the Slayer learning his powers, you know. But
yeah, and I feel like that'd be a really strong contrast as well, because we start off Doom the Dark Ages with him being mind controlled and him being restrained, right? Like he's not a max power level, because if he was, he could break free of the mind control and just go ham. So it'd be really cool to have a contrast where, you know, he was basically the atomic bomb under control. Now he's the atomic bomb completely out of control under his own volition. So, like, that'd be awesome, man.
Showing him in the very ship, he arrived in the very ship that he was in shackles, like he was shackled by. Like, it's just... it's incredible in terms of... Like
it's really good writing, though.
Yeah,
like, it's
100%.
really good. Like, the way they did it, it's kind of like, you don't appreciate stuff like that, but, like, when you really think about it, you're like, holy crap, this is really good character development and, like, environmental storytelling.
But yeah, no, back to what the Order of the Six. So, there's a lot of story beats, but we're just gonna... This is, like, the big one, so we're just getting crossing over it quickly.
Wait, real quick, let me just down some coffee before
No, you're good.
you go crazy.
So, to your point, I was kind of going to say something adjacent to this, where instead of having 3 or 2, have a member of the High Council, if they die this early on in the story, if not just before the end of the Dark Age era timeline. If they do die at this timeline and they're not around for Eternal, so they all 6 have to die in the next game or 2, then we can focus on 1. And they are the big bad, and then the other few are like the Hell Priests adjacent, where we just stomp them in the ground, or they're side or supporting antagonists, but they are not the focus. We have one focus, and whether that's someone we don't know, or if that's Erebus, or if that's like a just a concept plotline that they're not going to expand. But the only real archdemon or potential High Council member that is in the picture is Erebus, and he is noted as the keeper of the Spire Cities of Dis. He was cut from Doom Eternal because they just didn't want to. He was just like an early story beat that was going to make back whenever it was the Tower of Babel. He was going to make an appearance there. He was replaced with Calibus, maybe saved for, you know, an Aura of the Six type experience. So let it be the fat one, exactly. Presumably that is Erebus, right? And there's a lot of on the thumbnail of this video, that is the assumed Erebus. We have no idea if these statues are the archdemons, but
yeah,
we can have the main one, whether it's Erebus. He is noted to be the most hated, the most like disgusting, and just he is I guess talked as if he is like the leader of them all, or the most feared, you know. So that being the case, we could have him, and then the other ones are just kind of throwaway villains to support the structure and doings of Erebus. But one thing about Erebus, we'll segue this into focusing on Erebus. He has a chest device, right? That is kind of similar to something the Dark Lord has, and that's a lot of things people are pointing out. It's even glowing in Harbor of Souls on one of the statues. So lots of environmental storytelling there, if that is the case. So that's something cool to note. It shows us that they are potentially connected to the power of the Dark Lord, them being the gods of hell, and answering to the Dark Lord kind of makes it all the stars align there. So that'd be cool if that's the case. All right. So next story things. Yeah. We will jump straight into talking about Daisy, because Daisy could be the drive for the Slayer targeting the High Council. So before we get into how Daisy might appear, Daisy is expected to return. He is, or she is. I
was going to say he. Heresy.
She is one of the straight up confirmed details of the DLC, whether it's through a flashback or not. But if this connects to the High Council somehow and his motive, Daisy was killed. The initial invasion of Hell, the events of Doom through Doom 64. During that time, in this timeline, presumably the Six, the High Council, were in charge. So they would have been in charge of the invasion and the death of his family and Rabbit and whatnot. So, how would you like Daisy to return, and what do you think's the most logical instance?
All right. So just before I answer that, I just want to thank everyone for like, commenting and engaging in the community. And I don't know if you can see this, bro. We have 30 live viewers right now. It's pretty crazy. So thank you everyone for tuning in, like saying their piece and engaging with the stream. We really appreciate it. But
Yeah, I
in
mean
terms
that.
of like Daisy, it's crazy, dude. Like insane. But like in terms of Daisy being in this DLC, I actually don't know how it's gonna play out or work, because in the current timeline, she's not just dead, she's like a husk. She's not even a bone anymore, bro. She's like deceased. So I don't know how they're gonna do that, honestly. Which I mean, I'd love to see Daisy. It'd be really cool to have a cutscene with her, or maybe some sort of reconcile of like Doomslayer, maybe. I mean, that could also be maybe one of the bosses uses like, or Order of the Six members.
The Daisy
uses
boss
like
of Doom the Dark Ages DLC. No, I'm kidding.
Dude, can you imagine if there was like a can you imagine if it, like, you know how they do the boss archetype of like an overarching boss and you have to like shoot it and stuff? Like, and Daisy's just a big bunny and she's like trying to throw.
We lost
Yeah.
the script. We lost the plot for real. Daisy is the boss now. Actually, it's playable
But no,
Daisy.
my point is, I think a really cool way they could do that is maybe one of the bosses or Order of the Six members, maybe their strength isn't their physical attributes. Maybe it's their way of like using illusions or using
Right.
some sort of mind control or mind manipulation to screw with Doomguy. Because I feel like that's something he's been challenged physically, but he's never really been challenged mentally. Or at least not in like an opposing way, you know?
Yeah, every time
Like,
he's
we've
been
had
challenged, it just makes him mad,
Yeah.
and that's like, all right, now
Yeah,
I'm
a
mad, now I'm
wizard.
strong.
Yeah, exactly.
He's never been.
Yeah.
He's you're right. He's never been like. He's never been faltered by his emotion. You know.
Yeah, he's never been challenged like that. So I feel like it'd be really cool if we could have like maybe a cutscene of the boss, maybe an Order of the Six. I have no idea who it could be, showing the Slayer the home he once lived in, the family he once loved, the pet rabbit he once looked after and raised. And it'd be a really cool scene of seeing him deal with that, and maybe like having a brief moment of almost like peace and acceptance, like a tonal contrast to the rage that's associated with the character. Like, that'd be really, really cool. I'd love to see something like that. But honestly, if we're not doing that though, because that's how I always wanted to see Daisy, I thought that'd be a really clever way to challenge the Slayer and really implement Daisy into the story in a way that's just not cheap fan service. I don't know. But
Well,
I don't know. There's also
I was gonna say, to your point, it's important to note, and Hato mentioned it too. I was getting to that. So her presence in the story is not going to be cheap or Easter egg related. It is going to be meaningful, meaning it might tie to one of the bigger lore bits of information, which I'll get to right now, and we can talk about them both simultaneously. Is Slayer's past? That is a a huge thing that has been going around with Hugo's Nuggets. Is the Slayer's past, whether it's connected to the Doom Slayer or the Doom Marine in general, as in like potential flashbacks or learning about his initial backstory, whether that's connected to Daisy. So I wonder if there is going to be some sort of sequence with either as a flashback or as a like sort of to your point, the Order of the Six using Daisy as a in his mind to sort of manipulate him and falter him.
Yeah. Oh, so kind of like my prediction then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That'd be pretty.
It could be
that'd
something
be cool.
like that. It could be a straight flashback. We don't know, but regardless, it's going to be there, and it's going to be interesting. It would be interesting to see the Doom Slayer as the Doom Marine in a modern game. We saw it briefly with Eternal, but nothing too much with the actual events of the first game.
Yeah.
It was all post that. So that would be really awesome to see.
I'd love to see that. That's a fantastic
and that
idea,
would connect,
man. I really hope
yeah.
they go through with it.
Hugo did make a joke, and I see Vega talking about it now, that there was a Slayer's abs was a little joke, but Hugo like went on one of his little interesting side notes and tangents of how wouldn't it be cool if we saw the Slayer's abs. So that could connect to a potential flashback, because as we know, abs are a big part of his original design back in the day. Yeah.
Oh man, I know you're not to comment on.
Just real quick, thank you guys for 33 viewers, dude. That's awesome. I'm glad everyone's engaged. I'm glad we're having more people come, more people go, more people join up and just talk. All this is just a reminder, guys. Is just we're yapping about the DLC and our expectations and predictions and speculation, and we're just here to talk and have fun. Nothing too serious. And thanks again, guys. But yeah,
yeah, absolutely. God bless.
But no,
it's absolutely incredible, man.
Like, it is awesome. I'm very grateful with the with all these lore pieces, though. The most, I guess, standout one, like direct to the narrative that we know for sure, is the inclusion of the Con Maker. So, what do you think of that? What do you think of first whenever you learned that the Con Maker's returning live in person with the original voice actors? Like, what do you think of? What's the potential there for you?
Well, we already have some story significance with the Con Maker, because we killed the Creed Maker in the campaign, and we don't... I mean, I'm not sure. Is there any, like, story reference or any, like, codex entries that directly infers the relationship between the Con and the Creed Maker?
Yes.
Because there's clearly some hierarchy or regiment, some like what do they call it there? Chain of command. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. It's like a chain of command with the makers, right? So it'd be really interesting to see the relationship there, and you can also see that could be the turning point for the makers seriously seeing the Doomslayer as a real threat. Because we see the aftermath, like, the makers are fully aware in Doom Eternal of just how dangerous this guy is.
Yeah, 100%.
So it'd be awesome to see the foundations of, the relationship between the Doomslayer and the makers in that phase. Or in that beginning of that story, All
right, there's a lot to talk about with the story, and real quick, Horde says... set up for the Civil War. I agree. The first thing I think of with the Con Maker is the setup for the Civil War and the potential there, because as
I'm
you
still
know,
not educated on that. I still don't know the lore surrounding that,
brother. I forgive you.
I know. I should know better, bro.
No,
I should know. I should make a video on it and educate myself.
Making things right. No, I'm kidding. So Hugo went on to say, aside from those initial thoughts, right, like of what could the Con Maker's significance and importance be in the DLC, if we are learning about these big Civil War setups, right, with the discovery of Necroval and Argent Energy and stuff, Hugo goes on to say that she will make a brief appearance towards the beginning to sort of, to your point, talk about the sort of the resolution of those events with the Creed Maker and the Slayer's escape and the Creed's betrayal, all that stuff. But that being said, I highly doubt that's all there is. So she's obviously going to know at this point that Hell has potential because of what has been seen with the Creed. And sorry, 1 second. It's got an important message. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
So on the surface, like, that's cool, but there's gonna be a lot. It's gonna get a lot deeper than that, and seeing the Con Makers, I guess, deal with the Dark Lord, could happen, or the beginning of that could happen. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm still trying to I also think, too, like, there's a lot of potential there. I mean, personally, I don't want the Khan Maker to play a significant role here, because she already did in Doom Eternal, so I don't want her to really overshadow the like antagonistic presence of this story. I'd much rather they keep that reserved for the Order of the Six, because that's that's a new group of villains we'd never really seen, and they've always been a part of this lore, right? And this story, and they've always been referenced. So seeing them, I don't want it to be rushed. I don't want it to be overshadowed. I don't want it to be underutilized. I don't want it to be wasted potential, which we never had wasted potential. I mean, Ancient Gods Part 2 maybe a little bit, but like besides that, yeah, I like it, bro. I don't care what people say. I think it's fine, but like
the wasted, but no, don't ever say that again. You will be burned at the stake.
I don't know, bro.
The wasted potential of Devoth is to be studied, bro.
Well, all right. I'm not gonna get too off track, but like we'll go into that another day, bro. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, make the Khan Maker. Like, it'd be cool to have her in a couple of cutscenes, maybe kind of what the Creed Maker was in the story of Dark Ages, actually. Just maybe a little less than that, Kind of, make her presence known in this universe and this lore. But don't give her too much of a significant story component,
Well,
do you agree with that?
I agree, but from knowing like this part of the timeline, she has to be. She is intertwined with the Sentinels in every bit of information we know regarding the history of the Sentinels.
That's a fair point.
But yeah. I agree. They're not going to overshadow the true antagonist of the DLC. Which again, we don't truly know that. So, but I don't think they would make her the main antagonist again, unless, we'll save that for another day. But, I think her relationship with the Creed and stuff, and learning about that, her relationship with the Slayer, her, sort of, I think this is going to be a story with the Slayer, and then her working around the Slayer and the Sentinels, and we're going to see that kind of unfold here and there. Whether from her point of view or the Sentinel's point of view, we don't know. But and we can use this to kind of segue into our next point with the discovery of Argent Energy and the the solution to the Maker's problems. Which at this point in the timeline, we're not going to get soul factories and stuff like that. We're not going to see Necroball. We're not going to have all that. But we are going to see that. We're going to see the lead up to that.
The foundation.
Most likely.
Yeah, for sure.
We are going to see what causes the Khan to, whether it was the Creed doing it or not, we don't know. What causes the Khan to be persuaded into doing that. Or if she already has, we don't know. But Argent Energy was a big focus of Hugo's last stream, and that kind of goes into what we're talking about. So the last stream, Hugo mentioned the Soul Spires, and he mentioned the production of Argent Energy, or sort of the lead up to that. Argent Energy has not exactly been explored yet at this point in the timeline, and
right.
And I think seeing sort of the beginning of it is to be expected. How exactly, or at least what led them into experimenting with it. Doesn't Tag say that the Dark Lord was influencing the Khan? Yeah, exactly. But we don't know if that extends beyond the Divinity Machine. But that is a great point. Because, all right, so here's one thing. A lot of people are saying that the Khan, we might see the Khan make this deal with the High Council, but a lot of it, like the way Eternal frames it, it was the Dark Lord. So that is a very good point. That said, if the Khan in her early sort of workings and in cahoots with Hell, if we see any of that or the lead up to that, that might lead to us to seeing Devoth, the Dark Lord, because he is a big part of that story. So,
okay.
Icon of Simp, do you think the Makers were already somewhat in cahoots with the Dark Lord, or do you think that Creed was the first contact the Makers had?
Well, sorry, bro. I'll tell you what. Like, I'm gonna make another coffee. So if you just want to engage with the chat for like another 5 minutes, and I'll be back in just a second, because you have a lot of questions here that I think deserve answers. So I'll be with you in just a moment, man.
No, you're good, bro. Yeah, it's like 10 p.m. for him. It's almost 11. I feel bad for him. No, so it can go both ways, and I think most people have talked about this enough to where we have a solid either or situation. Uh, Either the con maker knew this entire time and lied to the Sentinels, or like just to cover it up, to not lose their trust, or the Creed is what the Creed in the Ministry working with Hell is what opened up the con maker to learning about it, because the Ministry that was in direct contact with Earth was kind of separate from the straight up con maker and the full hierarchy of Urdak, which we know only little of. But it can go both ways. I think it would work perfectly both ways. If the con knew this entire time, then the con might have already known, and then after the events with the Creed and Azaric reaching to the Creed, then maybe upon Azaric contacting the Ministry, the con ordered him to proceed. It can go either way. I think it would make more sense because there's only so many years that can happen in this time period before the betrayal. So how can the soul factories be built so quickly? And like, how can this deal be made for Argent Energy? And how could that progress to the full-on production of these soul factories within just a few years? I don't know. So it could have been happening this whole time. Who knows? I hope Hugo adds story and lore for the characters in the Wretch and Doom the Dark Ages. Yeah, we'll get to that. We're talking about lore right now, and once he gets back, once BossRanker gets back, we will get to that. Slaves, Sentinel slaves. Yeah, whatever. Tomato, tomato. I think the Creed was the first contact. That's the impression I got. Then the Conmaker herself gets interested in secret. Yeah, I think that's how I felt the story at the surface was portraying that idea and leading the audience to believe. But it can go either way. I guess it depends on your opinion of the makers. Any thoughts on the High Council? Yeah, we just talked about them a good bit. I think we'll get a main focus on one, and then we'll see the others. But I don't imagine us killing them all right now. I think it makes for a better story if the makers have already had an in with the demons, and Creed was just super disconnected from everything else. Well, yeah, that's fair. I highly doubt the con, if she was already invested with Hell, then I think that that's something she would keep on the down low. Even though the makers answer to her, I still think that's something she would probably try to keep on the down low. So it's like I said, for those reasons, it can go either way. Yeah, learning more about the Betrayer's Son, we will get to that, yeah. Two new weapons, yes. So the whole spear thing, Vincent, he hinted at the idea of something that rhymes with steer. Then he had further went on to say things about a spear, and then a additional secret weapon tied to a cool piece of lore, which we don't know anything about. Yeah, but I do have my own thoughts of the secret weapon being the Crucible, because the demonic Crucible has a big place in this part of the timeline, presumably. Question about the secret weapon for the Dark Ages DLC. I was curious about... Yeah, I saw Midnight saying he wants a great sword. I don't imagine they'd put a new sword in if it's not the Crucible. That's just not very doomy. The whole point of the Crucible was to have a doomy sword. Yeah, that's something I addressed in my plot hole video, Vega. The idea of getting the Witherin from Tag 2. Because that was one of his dragons. And originally, when it was written in, I'm sure that was his dragon, but they made Surat because he looked cooler. No clues to when the DLC comes out. Nothing. Probably this year. They are kind of in the later phase of it. They are tweaking and adjusting and balancing. Yeah, I wish we can get into the Dark Lord fight, but I highly doubt that they would do that, even if it's Repertorium related. Stupid soap to go join my chat. I thought I banned you. But yeah, guys, once BossRanker comes back, we will get to the rest of these. What do y'all want for the DLC? What's some of y'all's expectations that I haven't mentioned yet? It's not exactly story related because I haven't really talked about those yet. I won't listen to Soap. Don't worry, we don't like Soap here. Soap's on the ban list. He's in the circle of death. To this day, I still wonder about the Wretch. My theory is he's a demon who's casted out by hell itself. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he created the 2016 suit. Yes, he created the Praetor suit. His place in the timeline is a little fuzzy. We'll get to that. We haven't talked about the Wretch yet, but we will. He's presumably a demon. So yeah, that definitely has some truth there. Like I said, once BossRanker comes back, we will finish up talking about Argent Energy, and then we will move on to the other story beats, because we got plenty. Yeah, guys, if you're just now tuning in, Hugo Martin earlier came in and mentioned the hub. He said it'll be less cheeky and more immersive. So not super arcadey like Eternals in terms of Easter eggs and such. Be more tasteful and more immersive. Very nice of him to give us that bit of info. Will you guys talk about the... I mean, briefly. We'll just talk about our assumptions on it, more of anything. I wonder how the Praetor suit will look, because apparently the UAC messed with it in 2016. I imagine it'll look the same. I mean, there's still hell text in it. If we do get it, I don't think we're getting it in the DLC. Bro, Soap to go. I'm gonna get you one day.
Dude, I was like putting my headphones on. I hit my head with the headphones. You know when you spread it to put it over your ears and you slap yourself in the face? Brutal.
Oh, good.
But no, it's awesome. Like, what's going on? We got any new guys back in the chat?
The
oh,
Discord,
wow.
The Discord's making fun of me right now because they can hear my notifications, but I turned them off. It's glitched, and I don't want to restart it because we're in a call. So here, let me just take another look.
Awesome. Holy.
You know what?
Holy Discord mod. What's going... Bro, what conversation have you been having with these guys? What's going on, bro?
You're not allowed to say Discord mod in my live stream. Oh, yeah. Jay, yeah, I meant to do that, sorry. What if the Wretch is a reincarnation of Daisy? Bro, we lost the plot. We lost the plot.
Boss, join us in the... Bro, I asked Icon to invite me, but he said no, you're not welcome, so brutal.
No, I said you have to know Doom Guy's middle name before you can join.
Oh, okay. There's like a password, like some bullshit, like I don't know.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, no, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get the ball rolling now that you're back.
Yeah. absolutely.
You feeling all right?
I'm feeling good. I'm probably good for like another 45
Yeah,
minutes.
dude,
I
that's
can do
plenty
that.
of time,
Yeah.
dude. Absolutely. It's late
Yeah.
for him.
Let's.
Guys, it's like 11. So
Oh yeah, it's like
cut him some slack.
10:50. So yeah.
100%. So we talked about the con. We talked about her role in the story. We talked about how she's probably gonna be more involved than most people would think, and this part of the time period is her most involved. All that stuff. Argent Energy is going to be related probably with her role in the DLC. The initial discovery of it, at least. So now let's shoot over to some other things related to this sort of downfall and the lead up of to the Civil War. So a huge part of the story will be focused on well, not focused, but a lot of the story will have to do with Commander Valen's son Merrick, who we saw briefly in the Dark Ages in a couple scenes. But this will focus a lot more on him. So, and if you're familiar with Doom Eternal, he is a huge figure there. We recently, before I proceed, we recently got the information that his dagger that he used, that the Slayer used to stab the heart of the Icon of Sin, will be in the DLC. So that's interesting to note. I'll go and say that off the get-go. Not much to say about that. We have no idea. But so Merrick is the son of the Slayer and of Valen, and he sort of has negative feelings towards the Slayer. He thinks that well, there's gonna be some altercations in the DLC potentially, but that's all we really know. He's a great warrior. He is not on a good path here. So we saw in Resurrection of Doom the Dark Ages that there was some foreshadowing between him and his father, with them getting invested in the dark magic of hell and resurrecting and stuff, just to sort of set up Merrick's part of the story. So what do you think we could expect to see unfold in terms of progression with that whole arc with the betrayal? If the DLC is not going to show him dying, what sort of potential do you think we have there?
Well, with like Commander Valen.
Yeah, him
and
and Merrick and their sort of role.
I honestly have no idea. I mean, it'd be really. I would really like. Is his name Merrick or
Merrick?
Merrick. Okay. It'd be really cool to maybe get some. I really sorry, I'm all over the place. I need the coffee. It'd be cool to see Merrick's story expanded. I feel like to really feel the emotional impact. I mean, it's not supposed to be emotionally impactful in Doom Eternal, but I feel like if we know Merrick as a character or we spend some time with him, seeing his eventual downfall or possession into the Icon of Sin, that would be really cool. It'd add a lot of context to Doom Eternal.
Well, we can. So, his sort of arc is one of the few moments in the franchise where there is emotion. So, I think having his sort of relevance built up in the DLC will make the next title or game, whatever, where that might happen, be more of like a punch in the gut, like we'll feel Valen's emotions, but I'm glad he's getting more of a spotlight this time around, because he was one of the biggest complaints of from the lore nerds of the Dark Ages was, if he's such a big character, why is he in like 2 scenes and has 2 voice lines? Nobody even knew who he was until like the last cutscene. It was kind of funny, but yeah, lots of potential there with the story. I think like I said, that's one of the biggest pieces of Doom lore in this time period, and just sort of investing in his character and leading up to the events that we know is going to happen. It's inevitable. Is just going to make the storytelling and the narrative of this game much more compelling. Like, just knowing what's going to happen and seeing his character being built up, and the arc he's going to go through with his sort of relationship with the Slayer and their sort of not back and forth, but something adjacent to that, because he doesn't really talk. But very, very, very big point of the DLC. So we're not going to see him die.
Yeah,
We're not going to
absolutely.
see the betrayal, but we're going to see something that will set that up to whatever extent. Um, okay, let's see.
And
So
it's just trying to think about what that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't really have too much to comment on there because it seems very ambiguous. You know, it feels like pure speculation in that respect. You know, because I feel like their story will be expanded,
yeah,
but I mean, it'd be kind of cool, I guess, to have almost like an ally type character for the Doomslayer. Because I mean, we've seen it occasionally. You know, but we haven't really. It'd be really cool to like maybe fight alongside somebody in some of these encounters. You know, which is we kind of saw that during cutscenes in Dark Ages. You know, like we were fighting the mechs, and then King Novik came out of nowhere and blasted them out of
yeah,
existence, which
yeah.
was awesome. But maybe I don't know. I don't think this is going to happen. This seems a little too ambitious, considering all the stuff we've already talked about. But it's cool to maybe have like a segment or even a section where we're fighting alongside, what's his name, Merrick? I keep
Yeah.
forgetting his name. Yeah, it'd be cool to fight alongside him. Maybe develop like a personal relationship with him, and maybe we can see, does he get abducted? Like how does he become the icon of sin? Because I'm not familiar with that.
So he essentially gets killed in battle, presumably, and there's an unknown amount of time passes between then and the actual betrayal, where Valen is sort of tormented by hell and by the priests, and eventually like manipulated into like the grief gets to him, and sells he basically sells out to get his son back, but they bamboozle him. They resurrect him in the form of the Icon of Sin, which for some reason the Valen gives the Slayer his dagger. So whether that's Valen's or Merrick's or somehow tied to his soul, we have no idea. That's just an interesting
Right.
story beat, but that we can expect to see
I mean,
with the
that's a great
dagger. But
opportunity to maybe see him die in battle. Like
yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
I don't think we're gonna see that yet, though. I think that was confirmed to not happen quite yet. It's just
Okay,
but
well,
to go off your point
yeah.
though, to go off your point
Okay.
with having an ally, his relevance in the DLC has been a big talking point, and because this game is going to be more immersive with first person cutscenes largely, not entirely. It's going to be more like Eternal, where it's balanced with a lot of first person and some third person. But because of that, there is opportunity to see him more integrated into the missions and stuff, and because they're going to have a sort of potentially heated relationship, we could see them, learn to become allies or fight alongside each other or learn to respect
Yeah,
each
for
other.
sure.
Because Merrick
That'd
lacks
be
respect
great.
for the Doomslayer. They got some little they got a little bit of drama going on there that we're gonna learn about eventually.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome, man. I'd love to see something like that.
Yeah, very good part of the story. All right, so to kind of tie this off with a story, so far at least like the main parts I want to talk about. One of the few things that was straight up confirmed is Darren DePaul, the voice actor for Samuel Hayden and the Creed maker, was confirmed to return, and I think that's a huge deal. I made a video about the potential there and who it could be and why I think it could be the Seraphim. But tell me what you think of that and who else he might voice, because a lot of people want to see the Seraphim again, but there's a lot of different characters that he might be up for, that we might see, including oh, we forgot the Wretch. We'll talk about the Wretch after this.
I mean, so I don't think Samuel Hayden's gonna appear, obviously.
No,
I mean,
bro,
I don't know.
the Seraphim, dude.
Maybe
Same dude.
Seraphim. Yeah. Oh yeah, but I meant like the robot, the dude, Like the Seraphim absolutely has way more potential to appear. I think it'd be really cool, considering the lore implication of like the divinity machine. It'd be cool to maybe talk about the context of maybe how that occurred or something like that.
Yeah.
But in terms of the actual character, I don't. It makes the most sense to me because we spent time with him in another DLC, ironically enough. So I feel like it makes sense because we spent the most time with the Seraphim. It'd be cool to flesh out that character even more. And to be honest, I'm seeing a trend with how there's a lot of characters in this DLC who have reprising roles in the other DLCs and Doom Eternal, so it makes the most sense, really, to really focus on the Seraphim. But I don't know. It's the same thing with like Merrick or the Khan Maker. It's like there's a lot of content here and a lot of different various plot points. So how are we going to tie this character in without convoluting the plot and
Exactly.
convoluting the general scope of the DLC? So to tell you the truth, I have no idea how this is going to work. I think maybe a flashback. I know we've already seen flashbacks and stuff, but maybe
Right.
dude, I actually have no idea with this guy. Like, I'm sorry, I have nothing. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? Like,
So
I thought I'd be more prepared. I don't have a take on that.
no,
I'm
dude.
so overwhelmed by everything that could happen. You know?
Yeah, no. So a large point of the video I made was, if it's not the Seraphim, having another character, a new character, if he's not voicing like the Wretch or the boss, right? Which, if the Wretch is even in it, having a new character aside from everything we're already getting is just gonna very like, unless they do it in a clever way. But having a meaningful character with more than a cameo appearance will complicate the plot and clutter it a bit. It'll be a bit messy, I think. For a
Yeah,
DLC,
no,
I
it
mean,
would
not
be.
for a game, for a
It would
DLC.
be.
We're getting the Cod
Yeah.
Maker, we're potentially getting the Wretch, we're getting Merrick, we're getting Valen, we're getting Novik Thera, the villains. So adding, the Seraphim has potential to come to play here and there, but if we get a whole new character on top of all that, I think I just think it's unlikely. So
It's doing a disservice too.
Yeah.
Because it's just like less is more in a story. Like, because the problem is, and this is where my fears come up with this DLC a little bit. I'm mostly optimistic. I'm like, no, I'm 100% optimistic about this expansion. I think it's going to be fantastic. But my one big concern is, are we going to cross the line? Because, everyone wants this to connect to the other games in some way or another. But I don't know, there's something really unique about the aesthetic of Dark Ages and the fact that it's very self-contained while also teasing a lot of the other games in subtle ways, and I like that. It adds context without directly tying into the other games, if that makes sense.
right.
You know? Which is a really clever way to do a prequel. But I'm really worried about this DLC. Like, are they going to cross that line of being a little too fan servicey and a little too, not obnoxious, but a little, I'm worried it's going to be too much. Like,
I don't think
are
it
we
will
just
be.
going to add too many things? I don't think it will be either, but it's very, I was a little bit concerned because it feels like we're getting one thing after the other, and I'm like, it's cool references and stuff, but are we going to sabotage I mean, obviously, we're not going to sabotage it. You know what I mean? Do you see the foundations of a concern there, at least for
No,
me?
100%. I just think that
Yeah.
the way they're going to handle it, they're not going to bloat something that doesn't need to be bloated. They're going to tell a more grounded story without having this gigantic piece of narrative that complicates the entire timeline, like they did with, like, for example, Tag One. They learned from that mistake. I like the Tag One stuff, but the lore it added was a bit much for a lot of people. Like, I highly doubt they'll do that again. Plus, a big thing is they don't expect to tell a grand story. While the game is going to be massive in terms of content, the story is not going to be like another Dark Ages where it's just having all these crazy locations subsequently and all that. But with that said, like having Darren DePaul come back and go beyond a cameo appearance, like I just find that unlikely. I know he's tied to the main game, and sure, it's like, who cares? He'll still be cool, but I highly doubt they'd do that. So that's why I think having a character like the Seraphim, where he is integral, like he's a bigger part of this point in the timeline, and there's possibly more to him that we haven't learned in his journey with the Sentinels. That I think it would fit if they did it a certain way. But having, if not him, having another new character added into the mix, like a brand new character, would complicate the story. To your point, like whether it's a new Maker character because he seems to be voicing only Maker related things with the Creed and Sammer, or what. But I do see a lot of people pointing to him being the antagonist, like the Archdemons, or like one of them, or the Wretch. So with that, we'll segue into the Wretch, which is a big piece of lore
A
here.
big part of this. Yeah.
So the wretch,
Huge. Yeah.
the wretch is an entity who is deemed heretical by the demons, according to the Slayer's testaments, where he was first sort of revealed or explained, and the only time we really hear about him. He is talked in a certain light, like he is a demon, like he is heretical towards the demons, like in his heresy was loyal to the Slayer's cause, but by creating the Praetor suit. So originally this was thought to be during his time in hell, post the like the betrayal and stuff. He was trapped in hell for thousands of years or whatever before he was eventually sealed away before 2016. But Hugo Martin is on record to have mentioned that it was during his time with the Sentinels. So that leads a lot of people questioning that his armor tease, his quote of the day being armor, was relating to the Praetor suit. Which may be true, it may not be. It might just be hinting at the inclusion of the wretch being introduced because we have yet to see him. But with all these teases, it seems more than likely. So with that said, I'll let you answer this. Do you think that we can expect to see the Slayer don the Praetor suit in the DLC, or do you think that will be saved for a later time? Do you think he's going to keep this armor, or do you think we're going to see the Praetor suit in some capacity?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like yes, but also it also proposes a very interesting question too, because it's like, is this the end of the medieval saga? Have they gone on record saying
No,
that this
it's
is
not.
like
It's not.
It's not. They're gonna do more games. Well, okay, so we're gonna see it. I think we're gonna see it for sure. I think the Dark Ages armor is cool, but
I think
like,
taking
we
that
like,
away,
yeah.
but like during like taking the Dark Ages armor away in a Dark Ages title is kind of a disservice to the armor. Like this armor represents the game, right? I'm not saying you can't get an upgrade or anything. I'm just saying like if the armor tease is saying we will see the Praetor suit or get the Praetor suit, I think that would be a disservice to the story or the game. I mean, because like this is unique for this game. So that's why I kind of don't want to see it yet. That and, well, I mean, unless they do it like at the end, like they show it at the end or something like that in some cheesy way or what. But
Cheesy way, bro. I don't know about that.
I don't know. It'll make it feel like an MCU after credit scene, just like the Praetor suit.
Well, I mean, what I'm thinking of right now is because the Praetor suit, if we obtain it in this game, it's going to be infused with Argent energy, right? So it's like it's strong, you know.
Yeah,
it's am I right about that?
It's said to be
I am
impenetrable, whether through metaphor or not. It's really
it's stronger,
100%.
So I feel like
rot in the forges of hell. So it could be in this game because if the Slayer's in hell and it was rot in the forges of hell, people are putting those pieces together.
I mean, I'm trying to. How does the wretch tie into Doomslayer in terms of lore?
No one knows.
Like, so
he stumbled across him in hell.
Okay.
Whether it was now during the Sentinels, like during the Sentinel era, or post betrayal, it could go either way.
Because I'm just trying to think of it. Like, I mean, this is just a theory. What if the Doomslayer sought out the Sentinel? The wretch, to acquire more powerful armor to go up against maybe an Order of the Six member. Because the Dark Ages armor isn't impenetrable. It's actually, compared to the Praetor suit, it'd be incredibly weak. So what if, you had a story reason to obtain that armor, so he could go out, maybe you use it for the final boss of the game or the DLC or something like that.
It would be cool. It would be cool to see like a lead into it, or as Doc is saying, a sort of proto Praetor suit. That would be cool. But
that'd be absolutely.
Or maybe like if he met the wretch and he got like a sort of upgrade to his current armor, kind of setting up that he's going to come back and get the Praetor suit at a later date, or he will acquire it. I think something like that would fit better. But 100%. Halto, I agree. It should be saved for the next game. or the end of this one. Again, my main problem, if they go the straight up Praetor suit armor, which for some reason people hear like the word armor or a tease in general, they take it and run. So like everyone's assuming we're getting the not everyone, but like the general public thinks we're getting the Praetor suit because of it. But if that's the case, then that will take away from the Dark Ages. That will take away from this game, you know?
I agree. I agree. It's like this game has such a unique identity and standalone nature. It would be a disservice to take away the armor, because the armor. Because the one defining thing about Doomslayer or Doom Guy is the armor and is the arsenal, because he's he's a voiceless, he's a speechless protagonist. So the way you communicate personality is through the appearance, the attire.
And
the
right
armor,
now, this is his rookie armor. He just became a god. So to see him like in this young Slayer stage, like this suit is synonymous to his personality right now. You know, not only the era, but the personality of him. Like he's a rookie, he's young, he's in his earlier stages. He's more experienced than he was before, but he has been through things. 2016, he's become like a black belt essentially, but like this is before that. I don't want to see the Praetor suit quite yet.
I agree, man. I think that's a fantastic point, But how about the there's like there's a lot of time travel that's being discussed, in relation to this DLC. How do you think time travel is going to factor into the story?
Yeah, so there is something called a time travel arena that has been going around as like a hidden piece of code or something like that in one of the menus. And Hugo made a joke about flux capacitor and time travel, and then he went later to say that it was like not literal, so like not literal flux capacitor or not literal time travel. It's hard to say, but if that's the case, this could easily tie in. Excuse me, the potential for a flashback sequence or a potential to see Slayer in his iconic classic armor with his abs and Daisy and all that stuff. But again, how this is going to tie into the story, no one knows at all, if that's true. So that's just one of those things that we can't say much about.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's something that we can't say much about.
Okay. I mean, we never. That's like a concept that's like relatively new for Doom in terms of campaign, right? I mean, we've seen time travel or time flashbacks. We've seen that type of stuff, but in gameplay and stuff like that, we've never really seen something, So it'd be interesting to see how they go about that.
No, absolutely. And before I kind of want to talk about our predictions or our general like assumptions, I just want to say just some miscellaneous stuff here. And again, guys, if y'all want to go support Sneaky J Cool and Hotos and Hordes, they have a page where you can view all this information. Not exactly what I'm saying, but like everything in total. So go check that out. So some things I want to say is that we have the cutscene differences, right? It's not going to be quite as cinematic, not as letterboxy with the black bars and all that. Going to be more grounded story. But on top of that, the soundtrack. There's been no confirmation, but it's obvious that we're going to probably get Finishing Move, because I think they confirmed Holschult or any other secondary composers will not take part in it. And that just kind of leaves...
It's a shame. Yeah. That's a damn shame, man.
Well, I'm okay with that.
I don't know. Like...
You're gonna get other dislikes if you talk shit about the soundtrack, bro.
I'm not gonna talk shit about the soundtrack. No. I'm just gonna say that.
Sneaky J Cool.
Like the first time. That's the first time I've ever heard you cuss. It's like, but I don't know. I feel like the soundtrack in the game's great. It has personality. It definitely fits the theme and the tone of the game really well. But for this DLC, I want something a little bit different. Like, if it is Finishing Move Inc., I want something that's gonna, don't just give me more, really. Like, give me something that's gonna...
Sleep lightly at QuakeCon.
I mean, I don't know, because, like, the thing is with the, like, Doom Eternal and the Ancient Gods DLCs, those soundtracks have very distinct feels to them,
I agree.
Like, you can listen to them and for a fact, oh, this is from Tag 1, this is from Tag 2, So So I want something like that. Like, give me something, even if it is finishing moving, give me something that matches the theme or the tone, or at least give me some distinct personality here. Don't just give me more of the same, you
Well,
know?
I agree, and
Which is an important point to make because, you know, the previous composers knew that. They knew the soundtrack was basically, well, it's like the Slayer's internal dialogue, really, you know? Like,
listening while
almost.
playtesting the DLC right now, dude. We're being gaslighted by the game director.
Oh, Hugo Martin's
Hugo.
back, no way.
Hugo Martin, I have one question for you. Let me think. Let me think. Don't say interesting if the Crucible is in the DLC. There we go. There we go.
You're trying to get the guy to, like, drop lore drops
No,
in your stream.
I'm messing around. I'm messing around. All right. Dude, he's playing the DLC. All right, wait. All right, listen to this, actually. Hugo, if you're still here. So don't say anything. We just want you to hear this point we were making earlier. So you were stating, we were talking about this in a gameplay segment, you were stating how there is not only a quick swap sort of mechanic that we will master, not to the degree of Eternal, but to some extent. But there is also going to be a sort of new loop to master. Now, me and TheBossRanker have speculated that maybe there will be a swap mechanic between the core tools of the spear or potential whatever new weapon and the shield saw in terms of, utility. Because they're both seem to be fully fleshed out and have unique mechanics. You don't have to say anything. I just want you to hear that little thought. Anyways, back to what we're saying.
But deep down, you'd like him to say something.
No, I don't. I don't expect him to.
I'm joking, bro. But what point would you like to move on to next?
Well, I think there's one point
because we've covered a lot of it. We've covered like most of it.
Yeah, there's one core thing. Interesting. Oh my gosh, he said interesting.
And that's free wallet, 4 dots as well, so you know it's legit. You know, like.
This is the part where I announce the podcast and invite Hugo on, guys, with Jay and everyone.
With Jay, maybe one day, bro.
Sweet.
Like, absolutely.
He said the thing. Interesting. Wow.
Is that like Hugo's catchphrase? Like, whenever you say something that's remotely exciting, it'll just say interesting.
To those who don't know, he just said interesting to the idea of the core new utilities of shield and potential spear being a quick swap. And if that's the case, just saying, I made DLC speculation history, guys.
It is interesting.
No,
it's a great idea.
No,
that's like that's one of your better predictions, bro. I think that's a great prediction.
Imagine just tapping X on your keyboard in the middle of like a millisecond after a parry, just to go in for like a spear dive. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that.
Oh yeah, like I mean, well, it'd be X for me on the controller, but we don't talk about that, do we? But awesome. So, like, are there any like remaining points you'd like to go into? I'll bring it up here. There's some stuff we can talk.
Yeah,
Wait,
no.
There's
There's one more thing I wanted to mention, and I'll come across it eventually. But I would just kind of like to take a few minutes to go across our like just potential predictions. Like for example, a big thing of mine is the demonic crucible, and I made a video on that of how I think it could place into the lore and the story, and how that could potentially be
awesome.
Either a new melee weapon or a fully fleshed out mechanic, whether it's a secret or not. But we know that 2016 has a lot of emphasis on the Slayer using that in the past. So just that's one of mine, essentially, and I can flesh that out in a little bit. But do you have any things like that you kind of hope to see in terms of enemies, weapons, environment, story beats, whatnot?
I'm trying to think. I've pretty much just, I mean, I don't really have any like that hasn't already been discussed here in terms of like wants or promises or desires. I think most of what I wanted, I mean, all I really wanted for this DLC was for it to be ambitious and for it to be a step up over the previous DLCs, and that's basically what this
Yeah,
is. Like, this is probably the most ambitious project we've seen.
I agree.
Well, in a very long time, man. Like, this isn't because I feel like with the Ancient Gods DLCs, while they had a lot of lore significance, they felt really grounded in execution to me. They were just three incredibly well designed levels that were incredibly fun to go through, and that was pretty much it. And I was
Well,
like, see, there was a few disappointments here or there, but for the most part, they were incredibly satisfying experiences.
I agree.
But I feel like with this, it's basic, like Hugo said, it's basically a sequel in terms of the relevance this is going to have and the implications this is going to have for the overall universe. This is going to be pretty crazy, and that's exactly what I wanted. I want something I can replay over and over again and keep you occupied for a while, and that's what it's going to be.
100%.
But to answer your question, I don't know, dude. All I really want is I want more I suppose puzzles, really. That's like my one big criticism with Dark Ages.
Well,
Criticism.
Well, that's something
Yeah.
we only glossed over, and I'll talk about it now. Just to fill you in.
Okay.
So I only glossed over it earlier when I was talking about exploration, but the puzzles in this game or this DLC are said to be the most unique and fun and sort of engaging that the
There you
team's
go.
ever made. So
Fantastic.
and again, that ties in into the whole backtracking and Metroidvania aspect of it, where there's going to be a lot of exploration and optional things and encounters, and the puzzles are a big part of that. We saw
Oh, yeah.
some with the shield in terms of like platforming and stuff, but they're just going to be dialed in even more so, just like the Ancient Gods was. The platforming and the puzzle aspect was just perfected. And to your point,
Which was the best? Yeah, the best thing those DLCs did, in my opinion, in terms of gameplay. Like the grappling with the super shotgun, fantastic. Like I mean, if we can get something like that, not something like that, if we can, because the puzzles. My issue with the puzzles in the base game is they were cool, they were great ideas. The execution was really well done, but I found the solution was a little repetitive. It was a great foundation for like the idea of that puzzle, but it just felt a little overdone. So if they can take that puzzle and maybe just come up with more variations of it, or maybe find ways to expand on that and really challenge us, then that'd be awesome, man. I'm really excited for that.
and sorry, which puzzle
Even
was
if
this?
The shield puzzles in Dark Ages, where, like, if you throw your shield at like the blue gears, and it will like rotate the gears, and it will like levitate and like a cage, or levitate a cage, raise the cage so you can like grab the item inside,
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
type of thing.
Did
right?
you like I love the ones in the Cosmic Realm, because I feel like that's when they were
Oh, they
fully
look
fleshed
great.
out. That's whenever they tested you, like the puzzle tests and stuff. Like, I hate to say like a combat loop here, but like the puzzle fun zone was once you learned the puzzles and the shield
Puzzle
saw
fun zone.
the puzzle fun zone, like all the they really threw everything at you with the puzzles in the Cosmic Realm, and not just with secrets,
yeah.
but traversals. Like, you shoot the eye things with your shield, and then you kind of like, do you remember in City of Ryol, it's the first one, the first Cosmic Realm mission, there's that waterway tunnel, but you throw your you line up the eyeball, you throw your shield at it, then you gotta throw your shield saw into a gear, wait for it to come up while you're swimming, and then jump down to swim under. Like that.
Yeah,
It was
that one
stuff
really
like that
stumped me.
was very
Yeah.
very unique. Just like the way it you utilize your shield the entire time. Same thing with the optional puzzles and secrets, and like not only Temple of Lomrith, but the Carthel Marshes, like those sort of mind trickery puzzles, like those were great, and I think they really showed the
yeah.
best of the shield saw in terms of not just in terms of platforming.
And puzzles are really good too, because puzzles break up the combat, the combat to combat gameplay.
Yeah.
So it's I really like that, man. It'd be really awesome to there's a lot of potential there. I'm really excited. I mean, I have no idea what exactly the puzzles are going to entail, but they sound super promising. And like Hugo said, like Halo said it, Hugo did praise the puzzles in this DLC, so they are going to be diverse, they are going to be expanded, and
Yeah,
they are going to be memorable.
I
So I think that's super awesome.
I would love to see more. Gosh, what were they called, guys? The little shield saw nodes that you'd like leap to. I want to see more of that, and I'm sure we'll get more of that. But maybe even in combat, that'd be awesome. Not not always, just situationally. But I don't know. I assume
I will say,
I assume the puzzles will be a very
yeah.
very a good way to sort of toss up the incidental combat encounters, like the in between moments.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I do have a few more things I want to touch on here too. Like one of them is the difficulty in this DLC and what exactly we can expect. Because going from Doom Eternal into the Ancient Gods, like, dude, I remember, like, when you first boot up UAC Atlantica and, you see the intro, you feel like a badass, everything's fine and dandy. But then you get into that encounter and then you, like, die basically immediately and you're like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you have
no,
a
it's
moment of,
awesome.
like, discouragement where you're like, oh, wow, I need to, like, relearn the game now, basically. So it's like, I really want something like that. I really want to. I want to be punished in a way that doesn't discourage the power fantasy, especially the lore implications here of, the Slayer going up against, well, the High Council.
Yeah,
I really want to be challenged, in a great way, and I feel like there's a lot of potential here. I want the tag experience brought to this
yeah.
game,
It's
and
it's not
I
gonna
hope it
be
does do that.
it's not gonna be quite like Tag One in terms of just like pure annihilation to the player's
Oh no,
willpower.
it wouldn't
But
make
it's gonna
sense to
be
be like
yeah. But the
yeah.
optional stuff will be. It's like the entire experience is not gonna be this. I mean, I had no problem with Tag One. I beat an Ultra Nightmare many times, but I know people like
Okay,
you.
bro.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
The flex that's crazy.
Well, I wasn't
Bro,
kidding for the first half.
guys, I saw Icon play this game, and I can't beat this game. I can't even do this on ultra violent. Like it's brutal. And I saw this guy like fly through the arena like a squirrel on cocaine. It was crazy.
I was trying to
It's like-
show him on Ultra Nightmare he didn't know about the Marauder encounter in World Spear, so I had to fly through and show him.
You played through the whole thing just to show me. It was insane.
Well, I had to get there.
Oh yeah, it was nuts, man.
Yeah.
And you did it. Wait, did you do it or did you get like broken by them?
No, I beat it. I almost
Oh
died
yeah, of course you did.
after like the first or second one, and then I came back.
Yeah, and then you had the comeback of the century. I remember that. But I will say, another big thing I want is this is like very nitpicky. I honestly don't mind if they do this or not, but I feel like
That's what I mean.
we've had so many diverse environments in this game. Like we had Habeth, which in my opinion is probably the best level in the game in terms of environments.
That's fair.
Because there's just
It's
so
cool.
much going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane. I really like that. And the Cosmic Realm is fantastic. That was a great way to really spruce up the environments and show us something new which we've never seen before. But I'm thinking about the DLC, and I want to see something new here. I want to see a new environment. I mean,
Oh
obviously
my
we're gonna see
gosh.
hell.
That's
We're gonna
what I
see some
forgot.
crazy stuff. Yeah, I want to see something that's really gonna be just ambitious, something we haven't seen before. Like
Well-
I don't know what that would be and how they do it, but I don't know.
We forgot some key things here in terms of a story. So I totally forgot to mention the fact that the Cosmic Realm is, I mean, it's obviously going to be a part of it. It's kind of hinted at, nothing confirmed, of course, but the Cosmic Realm is a big part of the identity of the Dark Ages. So it's only assumed, and in my opinion, it's being alluded to having a big presence in the DLC. So I expect to see more from that. But he would like to see a level. Salim said he would like to see a level like Harbor of Souls. I agree. I'd like to see more of that. The deep greenish blues and stuff, and like
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
the Limbo is another one that a lot of people want to see more of, but that's a story for another day. But no, we forgot to talk about the Cosmic Realm, and we forgot to talk about because these are both environmental. We're talking. We forgot to talk about the Cosmic Realm, and we forgot to talk about the. I mean, honestly, the only piece of concept art we have is a cold part of Mars, which we have never seen before in a Doom game. So you're talking about wanting to see unique spots in the Doom universe, like we did with the main game.
Yeah, like
Seeing,
biomes, as Raven
yes,
said here. Yeah.
seeing a cold spot of hell, like this is honestly I mean, this is a lot of lore potential because we have never seen this, for one, and number two, in a lot of hell depictions, the deepest reaches of hell are like frozen over, literally. Like it's interesting.
And yeah, that's exactly that picture we tried to find earlier. That's exactly what that is. It's like a cold, almost blizzard biome there, like an ice biome. You know, like it's yeah, there's a lot of potential for something like that.
Yeah, Harbor of Souls as a level, though, just in terms of structure, just it's perfectly executed. You know, it's like you circle back to the hub area a lot, and there's a lot of, you return to the same areas but extended versions of the area. Like for example, you'll see this area in your corner, and you'll circle back to it originally and be able to get there. You're like, how do I get there? I want to get there, and you do. Level structures like Harbor are really good, and honestly, have like a backtracking nature to it. So I expect to see more stuff, more missions like that in terms of structure. I expect these missions to be a bit larger and more sandboxy and more, you know, like most of them, maybe not like the introductory level, but I assume most of them will be if the DLCs focus on less of filler missions, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I mean,
But
Ancient Gods, they're all like an hour long, you know, just for example.
oh yeah, like but that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about, man. Do you have any like closing thoughts?
I mean, I have any bit of lore I can talk about in terms of how I think the DLC is going to play out, but I have a couple of videos for that people can watch, and there's just too much to talk about. So in terms of just like broad, just, you know, me and you were just chatting about this, having fun, talking to the comments, you know, we could just answer some comments and kind of wrap this up here shortly. And
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down with that, man. Do you want to
Yeah,
let's just, do you want to read off some of the comments?
Sure.
I'm just gonna have a little swig of this coffee here.
And again, if the viewers, if y'all want to, you know, talk about anything you want to see in the DLC, whether it's story related or character related, you know, I'll tell you what, people keep talking about the pain elemental, and that's something I didn't talk about just because that was pure speculation, and I was at first going over the stuff that we can expect, you know, like something with some sense of confirmation. The pain elemental, perfect opportunity to have a cosmic hybrid, and I as much as I want more Cosmic Realm original characters, I think the pain elemental is just too good of a design, like, for the Cosmic Realm. I mean, like it's too good not to pass up it having a cosmic hybrid. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I'd love to see in the DLC. And if that's the case, I'll brush up this quickly so we can answer more comments. They would have to have a different type of Lost Soul, maybe a smaller variant, or a less sort of explosive nature, like Kamikaze, just totally just agonizing impact like the ones in the main campaign do. So that'd be cool to see. Just like a totally new take on the Pain Elemental. And Dinosaur Heretic earlier, I forgot to mention, asked if we talked about the DLC, the soundtrack. I just want to say that I love the soundtrack, and we expect more unique tracks.
Oh yeah, we had a little segment on that. Yeah.
He doesn't want to say it, but he likes Mick. He's a Mick dude. I'll say that. So
I think we all are now.
No. He BossRanker is a big Mick lover, so like, you know, that,
oh yeah, big
that's
time.
that's his bread and butter. So he doesn't dislike finishing move by any means. It's just, you know, he prefers Mick. But me personally, I'm excited to see what hopefully finishing move can cook up, and I know that they'll make something unique for this experience, just like the Tag 1 and 2 soundtracks. It felt unique to their experience. It felt, you know, like you could identify with them with that game. So yeah, cool. Dinosaur Heretic also says, I want the spear to be the Komodo's. Opening scene has Doomguy dropping down from the Creed ship, absolutely torches a Komodo, and then takes a spear as a trophy. That would be cool.
I think that'd be pretty dope, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Absolutely.
It's very large, so it would have a lot of range. You know, about the spear, a lot of people, I saw someone comment about it earlier, I forgot to say, a lot of people want it to be Azurix. And I think that is possible. you know, again with that same idea, it's like taking it for a trophy. I think that's a cool thought, but I would like to see an original one too for the Slayer at the same time. You know. Let's see what else. Doom 0759 says it's his birthday, so happy birthday to him. Awesome.
Oh wow, yeah, happy birthday, man.
Yeah, someone earlier mentioned the idea of a wraith shard being like the head of the spear. I think that'd be awesome. Like in terms of story,
Yeah, that'd be dope, bro.
You know,
I
just
love that.
anything more with the wraiths, I'd love to see.
Because I feel like every weapon in this game has some. Well, every weapon in like what the past 3 games now, they've had so much personality. Like you can just tell immediately what the weapon is by looking at it, you know. And it's like the grenade launchers, the rocket launchers, the shotguns. They don't look like generic shotguns. They look like, yeah, it's the Doomslayer shotgun, you know.
Yeah,
It's like been modified and personalized to be as destructive and offensive as possible. You know, and that's what makes these games so good. So I feel like the spear really has to communicate that. I mean, I mean, whether it's going to be crafted and like modified straight off the bat, or if he's just going to take. I don't think he's just going to take it. I feel like this is going to be something that's going to be built and developed. But we'll have to see.
something also. I'll mention this. The codex entries are going to be more cohesive, like tags, you know, where they have like part 1 through whatever. Like they'll have multiple entries about a certain topic. That's something I'm excited for. I forgot to mention that earlier.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
People who are thirsting for more lore will get what they want. People who are dissatisfied with the codex will,
for the lore.
I'm not talking about myself, but
oh man, that's brutal.
yeah.
Thirsting for the lore.
Salim also said Harbor of Souls and Reckoning are some of his favorites because of the amount of backtracking and structure of the levels. I agree. Those are some of the best. I also like City of Raioul because it has some elements of that. It's less in depth in terms of structure, like because it's a little bit more linear feeling, but it still has that. Hey, I just been here. Now I'm back in here. Like it has the familiarity, and you see doors that are closed that are open later. Just like those levels. Pretty cool. I love
stuff,
missions
man.
like that.
That's what I live for. Yeah, I love it. That's what I live for, man. I love that.
Yeah, I see people saying Komodo Spear, Azrak Spear, Wraith Steel Spear, Argent Spear. Yeah, Jay, there's a lot of options there. I personally, I wouldn't mind an Argent Spear. I just think I don't know. I mean, in a game where there's no Argent weapons, what if the Spear is like well, no, I guess it wouldn't make too much sense with the lack of Argent energy. I don't know. This is just me brainstorming.
We'll have to see, but yeah, we'll answer a few more questions here, and then I'm probably gonna have to skedaddle.
Oh, good.
But,
yeah, it's about midnight for you.
We're getting there.
Yeah. Again, we are going to QuakeCon, so hopefully you'll see some updates for that. Not sure if you guys. This is from Dinosaur Heretic. Not sure if you guys have touched on it yet, but I'm praying that the Umbral Plains are the first level. You know, it's interesting about the Umbral Plains. There's arguably a plot hole there, and I'll probably have to take this one because TheBossRanker might not understand. It's you know a little too
like...
no. It's a little too convoluted, bro. So the Umbral Plains are
the IQ's not there.
No. It's just like very obscure. It's very obscure. Like all the plot holes I put on my video are just so obscure. So the Umbral Plains are talked about like a wasteland in hell, kind of, and it's like a segment of hell in 2016. It's like in hell. It's a part of it. The Doomslayer has scoured the Umbral Plains and whatnot for who knows how long. But in Eternal, it was retconned to be a part of Argent Denor, which we know Argent Denor has been absorbed somewhat. So it's not unlikely that it's also that it was in hell because it was absorbed by by hell from Argent Denor, but. There's, for it to be like the cold wastes of the Umbral Plains, I think that's how it described, but you see in the Dark Ages, Umbral Plains is talked about as a part of Hell, but it's before the consumption of Argent Denor, so because of its inclusion in the lore and the codexes as the Hellfire Pits of the Umbral Plains, Like I don't know. Like I don't even know if it's a part of hell or if it's a part of Argent de Noor or what. But regardless, it would be cool to see because it's supposed to be like a colder. If you kind of take the codexes together and try to make it work, then you kind of have like a colder, wastelandy aspect of hell, which might be what the concept image is depicting.
Yes, I mean we couldn't bring that up unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah, and again,
Bro,
it's
that's
like
a great piece of concept.
it's a great piece of
no,
concept.
like
Yeah.
that's so awesome, dude. But like, hang on, let me pull it up here. There's like a shrine in the background too.
Yeah.
Like,
Slight plot holes aside because of like just like slight contradictions in the
Oh,
codexes.
dude,
Like if
so
it is a
good.
cold wasteland in hell, then this could be it, and it just looks great. I love it. And I really hope to see more concepts in the near future, just to give us some teases. You know,
Oh yeah.
nothing revealing. Like this reveals nothing. It just shows us a, you know, environmental sketch.
But yeah, I think that's all the questions here. I'll try and see if I can find any more that we may have missed. Oh yeah, do you think it will be the Spear of Destiny from Wolfenstein?
Oh, that's a
like
that's a very good point. Yeah.
to further cement the lore.
Yeah, the
crossover
biblical
there.
nature of everything. The Spear of Destiny is very big in terms of I don't know, but again, it wouldn't be so on the nose. I feel like.
Is the Spear of Destiny a thing in like modern Wolfenstein? I don't remember that.
It is. It was well, not modern. No. It's just like the.
Oh, it's a classic. Okay.
What's the thing
makes more
that
sense.
there's an Indiana Jones movie about it? What were the Nazis looking for? The Holy Grail. It's like one of those relics. So it's like relevant to Wolfenstein that way. But Soap to Go says, I'm coming to QuakeCon, trust me, bro. He's lying. Salim says, he'll make it to QuakeCon. Hopes he make it to QuakeCon this year. Yeah, man, I hope your arms are covered. That sucks. Hope you can make it, dude. I've seen his levels, dude. Did you know that Salim's levels get played live by Hugo sometimes? Like, full-on modded levels in Eternal, dude. Like, Geo and everything. It's crazy.
Oh wow, no way. That's awesome.
Yeah, great level designer. I've seen a couple of his other stuff as well. I'm not sure if he's willing to share
We should definitely play it. We should play like I had an idea for the streams. Like we could maybe play some modded levels that the community has made, or maybe we could even play some like repertoriums people have made, stuff like that. You know, just for the ultimate suffering.
Yeah.
You know, of like the Mario Maker levels people make in these games or encounters.
Yeah. Sorry guys again for the lack of display. I was going to play some like background stuff like while we chatted like in Doom the Dark Ages,
You're
but
right, man.
it's hard to focus on like gameplay while I'm trying to talk about lore cuz it gets complicated. So yeah, hopefully guys you'll understand. This is just a chill chat. We're just, nothing groundbreaking here except for Hugo's cameos. That was awesome. But nothing groundbreaking. We're just chatting about the DLC, guys.
Oh yeah, in terms of like, I mean, I took a bit of a backseat on this one. Icon did all the work in terms of like putting this together. So yeah, huge respect to you, bro, for getting this on time. I was in the background editing my video for tomorrow, which will be up on my channel. If you guys want to watch that, I can't really give you a time frame because it's just confusing because we're all around the globe. But like, just check my channel regularly, and you'll see my video up. And it's a good video, man. I'm trying to get Icon to watch it when it comes out. You know.
Boss, when's the next Doom Eternal stream? Someone just asked you.
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I've been a bit too busy recently with well, I've recently changed courses. I'm studying theology now, so it's I've been trying to navigate that, and I've also been trying to navigate studies and just a whole bunch of stuff, man. But hopefully this substituted it a little bit, We got to, me and Icon Simp, we got to talk about Doom for a few hours, which is a lot more ideal,
Yeah.
I actually I enjoyed this, man. This was like a really fun stream.
It's cool to
Felt really natural.
Oh
yeah.
In the
time.
future, guys, we'll have more, I guess, topic-based stuff where it's more of more speculative, I guess, like or more, I guess, lore focused or something. We're focusing on a specific topic. You know, like I can have an in-depth conversation or deep dive on a certain topic, but I thought it'd be more fun to chat and just keep it kind of chill.
And Hold Mode Gaming says, I leave, Hugo joins, I join, Hugo leaves, coincidence. That's brutal. Both of them can't be in the same place at the same time, man. It's like a shadow. It just disappears.
Yeah. In this week's Icon of Simp stream, Hugo Martin drops some compelling lore information.
Dude, how good was my Horde Mode Gaming impression the other day?
Dude, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
I wish I could do it right now. I couldn't, because I don't want to disrespect the GOAT.
It's
and
not
I don't have the energy.
It's this most sincere form of flattery.
I mean, I guess. It's all banter at the end of the day, I guess.
Yeah. I think,
but,
if you're hopping off here, dude, I'll let you get to it. I know it's, dude, it's like, is it midnight or 1 for you almost?
It's, we're coming up to midnight, but I don't mind finishing off some of these comments here.
Absolutely, dude. That's a scarily good impression. What the F? Yeah, guys, I have a bit of a better one I could probably do, but my voice is just fried. It's been a long day. I've been up since like 7. Midnight is in the UK. Midnight mentioned.
Yeah, he's in London, right? Something like
this
that.
This is London? Bro, no, I think
he's in London. No, I thought he was like, he took a picture with the London Eye.
He's in Mexico. I don't know. Stream can end till both of you do the impression, bro.
Dude, I can't do the impression, man. I'm like
I should play the game now. You know what? I'll play
I'll do an impression like when we meet Horde Mode IRL at QuakeCon. I'll do one to his face.
Hey, whoever, all the people in the comments who created Archdemon, Watch the Archdemons. What map do y'all recommend? Is it Harbor? I'll run that run that in the background real quick while we answer some more questions.
I like Harbor the most.
I don't know if there's a recommended one or not.
By the way, is there a new skin you can unlock in Dark Ages now? Because I remember Horde made a video.
Harbor. Yeah, I thought so. A new skin? No, that's probably him once again spreading misinfo. I hate when Horde does that.
Although I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I was just like
Horde hate. No, I'm just kidding. I guess the time limit that's set. I'll just get into it. Sorry, I'm just reading some comments.
Nah, it's all good. He's such a boomer. Brutal.
Let me get the volume going a little bit. Hold on, guys.
Ferocious but lame said, I always thought that the spear in question was going to be a Maker spear. Given that Doom Guy has already occupied the Creed Maker's ship, I would assume that you would unlock it pretty early inside the ship. That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know.
A Maker like a weapon.
That would be cool.
Idea.
You know, we haven't had a Maker weapon besides the... I mean, you could debate the upgrades or weapon.
Oh, okay. Phalanx is the most recent skin. It comes from the McFarlane figure. Dude, wasn't I saying that to you yesterday that I wanted to buy the Doom Eternal McFarlane figure? Or is it like
no? That was
the
good smile thing, the Eternal Good Smile figure.
Dude, that looks so badass. I need that in my life. Like,
yeah. I just got the
way
good
you
smile.
compose that thing.
Sorry, I'm just running around. I just got the good smile. Why is it so? Oh, I'm way too fast. Hold on. I'm not as good as everyone else. I gotta.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I had your gameplay on 2x speed. Like, Have you got gameplay speed up to 150?
No, I do that for my UN runs because just like the first act of the game is such a slog to just keep. It's not a slog. It's just if I'm gonna die on siege every time, I just want to breeze through it. All right, that wasn't my best run.
Yeah, I don't get the appeal, man.
This is disgusting.
That's brutal, bro. Hugo's in the chat again, apparently.
No, he's not.
Oh, is he not? I can't.
No,
I couldn't read the name.
Now, if Hugo was in the chat with this gameplay, I would actually like delete my channel right now.
Bro, it'd be like the Ada Wong meme with Leon Kennedy. You know how he's always fucking like aura farming? I'd be like you when he's in the game. It's like, no, I gotta lock in.
Yeah, I'll pull up my Eternal gameplay because it's a lot better.
Your Eternal gameplay is really good.
Thank you, I appreciate it. It's all right. It's not what I want it to be. It's not super black belty, but
I mean, dude, if you see my gameplay, good lord.
I heard
the
round
thing is,
3
my
was
game,
really tough on here, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I've witnessed it.
When we go QuakeCon, like, can I use a controller, or is that like blasphemy in the Great Court?
No,
like,
all right. So I'm bringing my
thing?
PC, and I thought I mentioned it already. I'm bringing my PC, and we're all just gonna like share it and bring a controller, and we'll all just like play something, split screen, whatever. We can split screen the classic Dooms or something, as well.
Dude, that'd be so peak, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh wait, which one's the one with the 3? Oh god, I knew I was dead right there. But yeah, any more questions you want to read, bro? Just feel free. Console in the hotel room?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely not.
Oh yeah, I'll keep you in touch. Boss's gameplay clears icons of Sims. Bro, my gameplay is pitiful. My gameplay was so bad, bro. Like, it was just, I don't know. It was so bad, I thought Icon was gonna stop being my friend.
I don't judge,
Like,
bro.
you're not a part of this community.
This is
Gameplay
disgusting.
Call yourself a YouTuber with this gameplay.
How'd that happen? I just lost my shield.
You gotta get good, man. You gotta lock in.
Bro, you play on Hurt Me. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, okay. I send some, you know. You got something you want to share with the class, buddy?
No, you play on Hurt Me Plenty, right? Yeah.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Oh, how dare I have fun? Like,
You're not having fun, bro.
Stuff. I didn't get the appeal with the Ultra Nightmare stuff at all. Like,
It's so good, bro.
I did it like once in my heyday, and like never again, man. What a slog. Like, never ever doing that again, man. I don't get it. Can you beat round 2, Icon? That's what Toxic wants to know.
I can't beat round 3 without using the BFC, but I can beat round 2. Yeah.
How about round 4?
You're getting a little too ahead of you, dude. What? I'm on
Yeah, exactly. Celine does it with a controller. See, I'm not the only one who enjoys
scary.
fun, you know?
No, I'm on 130 speed. I normally play the Repertorium
Mid.
on like 110 speed, I think. Keep in mind, this is like the worst, not worst preset. This is the hardest preset you can find right now. Like that's on the official thing.
Come on, Icon, you gotta lock in.
Hey guys, I'm better than Hugo Martin. That's all I can say. I really hope he's not here and heard that.
How good is Hugo Martin, like, good at his own game?
Dude,
That's
he made it.
interesting.
He almost made it to barracks on his Ultra Nightmare run, and that's saying something because he's like not only on controller, but that was his first playthrough. He died in a very
he did design
silly
the
way.
game, though.
Yeah, no, that too. But no, he's not bad at the game by any means. He definitely mastered the loop. But no, something for the DLC. We'll talk about now since we're playing Repertorium. I would love to see the DLC enemies and weapons, whether they're through specific maps or not. I would love to see them in the Repertorium. I don't know if they could, because the Repertorium is a base game feature. I don't know if they would add the DLC stuff to, like, you know, like you would have to get the DLC to use the weapons, I feel like. So they might have to make a separate Repertorium for those, or encounters, or maps, specifically for the DLC. Oh my gosh. This is horrible. I have no idea how I'm still alive. Oh my god. No. I knew that was it.
No, this is great.
All right.
That was a good recovery, man. I was gonna be obnoxious and ask you like 5 questions.
No, I'm
but...
not gonna get myself. I'm not gonna bamboozle myself in front of 25 plus people. This is Watch the Archdemons, created by the usual suspects.
Get bossed. I'm not playing that, bro. I couldn't if I wanted to. I don't own the game on PC.
Now, if I was locked in at 110 speed, I'd be fine. But no, dude, freaking Soap to Go is crazy. He plays on 150 speed with no parry delays. I play at 60% parry delay.
What, on high difficulty?
Yeah, he plays Nightmare, which, obviously.
Oh, wow.
But he plays 150 speed, 0 slow-mo, which is insane.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm good. I'm good. I enjoy fun. Like, crucify me, like I...
That's fair, dude.
Oh, man.
Alright, I'm just gonna get
But,
we're just gonna probably get out of here, guys. It's late for him.
Yeah,
on too much longer, and I appreciate it. Maybe we'll next time we do a stream, maybe we can make it about a more specific topic, and do a little deep dive and have something more like, I guess, more scheduled, like with like a more of an outline, and kind of just dive into stuff with more detail, One more I enjoy fun at a boss ranker, and he'll end up with the Titans outside of Azek's Fortress.
listen, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. Like, I am a... See, the ironic thing is, like, because I make videos about Doom, I'm supposed to be this, like... Oh, wow. I was about to go off then. I gotta contain myself.
He plays on Hurt Me Plenty because he doesn't believe fun comes from learning with your mistakes, which I believe it does.
I play on Hurt Me Plenty because, listen, dude, if I'm studying theology all day, if I'm working, if I'm doing whatever, I want to come home and enjoy my life. I don't want to come home, die over and over again, replay the same level, and repeat a cycle of misery, depression, and ultimate despair. Like, I enjoy fun. I really like fun.
You can sleep in the lobby.
I like coming... Is that really such a wild take to enjoy? Like, I don't know.
Well, this community burns people at the stake, so...
Oh, yeah, for sure, but, like... Yeah. Am I gonna get to, like, QuakeCon, bro, and it's, like, I'm gonna be flogged the second I enter the gates? Like, I don't know.
No, exactly. Precisely the sole reason why I avoid Souls-likes. I mean, that's why I like Souls-like games. Worst take I've heard all afternoon. More like worst take I've heard all year. Horde. It's worst take.
But the thing with Souls-likes, this is my issue with Souls-likes. I mean, Souls-likes can be fun, it depends, because some Souls-likes really they delve super far into, okay, we're gonna make this hard instead of fun. Like, I've always had the wild take that Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is better than any FromSoft game ever made.
Oh my god, bro.
It is! I just played it! It is! It is better! 1000%! It has the best gameplay, the best bosses, the best levels, the best pacing. It has the best progression of difficulty and skills. It's fantastic. That is one of the best gameplay experiences of all time.
Dude, that's like, I just 10 no's right there. That's 10 absolutely false...
You wanna know a game that's better than that, bro? Cuphead. Cuphead is a masterpiece, dude. Like, that game is so good.
You'd like it, like... Horde says you'd like it more if it was Shadows Die Thrice. Oh my god.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. It was great. It was a fantastic game.
Yeah, more, maybe you like it with an extra life mode or something. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop the hate. I'm gonna stop the hate.
I know. I'll tell you what, bro. You should play Cuphead and, like, surround yourself with, I feel like Cuphead would improve your experience, or it'll improve your skills as a Doom player. You know?
Yeah. No. That's not for me.
But, yeah. It's officially midnight, so I'm probably gonna head off, you know? It's been a good stream. Yeah, thank you for the turnout, guys. Like, we had, like, 40 viewers at some point. Like, we never talked about what we expected in terms of viewership or in terms of audience engagement. But this is, like, far surpassed any of our expectations.
Nah,
so thank
I appreciate
you, truly.
it. Having a...
Yeah.
having Hugo come in and drop some critical information potentially.
That was
That's
crazy,
awesome.
dude.
And
That was awesome.
This
yeah.
is again, this was a stream just to chill out and have fun, not get too invested in anything super deep because just more of a chat and go over all the general stuff. But a lot of you guys in the comments and everyone's who's tuned in seems to watch me and also talk in the comments about just lore stuff. So if you want, I can get something more scheduled and prepared, and we can have something more concise and more specific, and we can have like a deep dive that's a little bit more a little bit more professional, and have some good deep talks about the lore and whatever topics y'all want. I can do some polls and see what y'all want in terms of the topic. But
Oh yeah, absolutely. It'd be cool if we could make this like a weekly routine too, because I really enjoyed this, man. It was super fun.
yeah, and again, there's much more to come, guys. We got a podcast sort of frame going on here, and then announcements will come eventually with more guests. So just stay tuned for that. With the specifics and the the host roster and all that, we got some good stuff cooking. So stay tuned, and I appreciate everyone who enjoyed. I appreciate all the positive comments.
Absolutely, guys. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week.
All right, y'all have a good one.